this, and we can kick off. And if you want to talk about Kiwi Farms, then I'll ignore you and
Still
carry.
sounds like you're saying Kiki Farms.
No,
Kiwi Farms, as in
bro.
the fruit or the bird, which is just the fruit. But what you do is you get the bird and you take the head and the feet off, and then
Oh yes, New Zealand's.
yeah. Anyway, we're live now, so whoever was watching, which is no one, of course. Oh wait, no, I tell a lie. There is someone waiting. So they got half of that weird conversation.
You should do an by the way, Saloon events if you want to let people know.
I've done the Twitter thing.
Oh.
That's gone out to all of my 6 Twitter followers.
Have you not gotten any news since Elon Musk took over?
Yeah, actually, I have.
Same.
It's not a huge amount, but it's like
a few more have propped up.
Definitely a few more.
I can send a ping
and not people that have been following me before and have then sort of refollowed because they've lost their account either. It's actual.
Do you think I should send a ping to our friends in the other server?
No, good God, no! They would never talk to you or I again.
Oh, well, are they super?
They're nice
faggy?
normie people who get triggered,
okay.
get triggered, and find things problematic.
This is why Rogue fucked off too.
Let's speak ill of the dead. Right, so yes, last week we only had a short episode. We're probably only gonna have a short episode again this week, because I know now we can't go past 12 again, which is fair enough. Actually, we should actually try to start a little.
Who's turning into a pumpkin this time?
Oh well, Uzu's got a stream to do. Kiki's got to get up early for work and stuff, and things.
I just want to sleep.
Yeah. Having normal sleeping hours is good. You've got work in the morning as well. You've got new stuff to. You can't be missing work now, dude. You've got a mortgage to pay. Congratulations.
No idea what you're talking about.
Right. So yes. Where we left off last week was you guys are trying to hunt down and find out what's going off in the in Hope Springs, the vampire town. You've met the Baron. Baron Argilak, and he's told you that he thinks there is an uprising against him brewing somewhere, and you've been trying to work out who's responsible. You've been given some fairly strong leads, pointed in the general direction of 2 people in particular, and you've been offered some assistance in the form of a fairly attractive, depending on your point of view, vampire escort Sandy, and then you've met Shane, who is a young vampire who has been helping out with helping the town integrate into.
He's ambitious.
He's ambitious.
From what I've gathered, he's only turned a year ago.
Yeah,
his idea of like a long time is skewed because he's still was a human a while ago.
He's like all 20-somethings. He thinks he knows better than everyone. And
it's like dealing with Spyro.
Yeah, exactly.
Di complains about her lack of memory, and then start talking about this young vampire, and all of a sudden,
boom, there. Absolutely.
Well, I just likened him to Spyro, so I don't know what you guys are reading.
So he was very, very taken by Ez's rock music, and
what an asshole, by the way. He just took that. Let's not forget that happened.
Oh no, he took a small pebble.
Yeah, obviously no, but he thought he was taking something that played music on wherever he wanted.
Ez did give it to him. But
he asked to see it. I gave it to him. I offered.
I offered
to start a franchise with him, and
he was
just
actually
wants to know how it works.
Yeah.
So because of that, I decided, right, he can take it. And when he tries to fob off someone and it stops working, he'll be the one with egg on his face, not me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a good sign for being a business partner, I will say.
Yeah, it's a lesson he has to learn.
Either. Like it just plays constantly.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the only one who can stop it working. I suppose if you destroy it, that will stop it.
How do you destroy a rock in
Cut it
D&D?
in half.
Big hammer.
I'm sure there's a way.
But anyway, yeah, Shane disappeared after having an odd conversation with you guys, where messages were mixed. We'll leave it at that. And as soon as he buggered off out of sight, behind you appeared a fairly older gentleman who dressed in fairly traditional pilgrim attire and introduced himself as the good Reverend Jefferson. I hear you've been looking for me today, and at that point we ended it last week. So you now have an older, wiser vampire who you were knocking on his door earlier, and he's come to see how you guys are doing.
Knocking
Or
door.
your stay in the town is congenial and have everything you need. Sadly, we don't have Coatrack with us today, so we're going to have Chief Feather on Dot being a bit on the quiet side. We'll have him in the background, and if he is needed, we'll use him as a meat shield.
Okay,
Someone's pressed the dot on his forehead and put him on autopilot.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
that's not how it works.
No, the
Can you,
dot
can
is
you
an
jog
off
my
button.
memory?
Yeah.
We were sent to the Rev by the Baron, was it?
Baron suggested that he's known the Reverend for a long time. But if anybody in the town has the strength to stand up to the Baron, it is possibly the Reverend, as he is the probably the second oldest vampire in. I mean, no one knows exactly how old each other is, but Reverend Jefferson is definitely respected by the Baron as being a strong, old and wise vampire. Maybe one that's not willing to give up his old vampire ways.
we've also
Such.
been told by the Baron that he might be favourable towards Azazel, so not to mention that he's getting resurrected.
I mean, he basically, what was it, pointed out that we were touched by the divine. So he kind of knows that we were dealing with the.
He did
Angel, right?
notice these things. Yes, he's like I said, he's
But
old,
it's
wise, and
just good
has.
to know what we. It's best
Mhm.
not to lie about when he's just outright just said, you guys have been touched by an angel. Let's not
Yeah.
pretend we didn't meet an angel. Maybe.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you could, but.
You could probably assume he can see that which is not always visible to people.
I mean,
we
we
don't
could just
have to
be
be.
honest on that.
You
and
don't have to
say
be
we
too
were-
honest. Like, you just.
Yeah, we.
No,
we
but
also
I
don't-
mean, we could just be honest. We were forced to serve one until we earned our freedom.
Yeah, we also don't have to be favourable to him. I mean, he did cut one of us in half.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we
but he got
didn't we
better.
technically earned our freedom?
You have earned yes.
But yeah, okay.
He put you through some tests, made sure that
Yeah,
you
I'm
were
just
capable of
jogging
doing the
my
job
memory.
he wanted. And then your leash, so to speak.
Okay. Are you there, Uzalu?
So we were following
Yes.
the Rev to his place. Is that right?
No, he'd stop. I suppose we could do that. I don't actually have an inside of the church. We can knock something quickly together. It will be a recycled room, but you may as well have the conversation here as well as anywhere else, unless you.
Yeah, you could just say, we're in a church now.
If you want to go back to the church, fine. You want to go back to the church. you
I
can go
don't
back to the
care.
church.
We can stay here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what he said of us before
He
wrapped up.
basically said, "Oh, I hear you've been looking for me," and at that point it was a case of, "Oh, well, we cut it short here because people are tired and so on and so forth." So we left
Okay.
it there at that point. So
Yeah.
yes,
So we need.
you've been looking for me. Okay, how can I help you? You're the new guys in town. You staying? I trust your stay with the Count last night was comfortable.
Yeah, no,
we
he was
stayed with the
pretty decent.
Baron. I don't know any count.
Everyone's making the mistake.
He gives a half smile and goes, "Yes, of course, the Baron. Yes, my mistake."
Yes,
Reverend
Herr
Jesse,
Baron said that you were one of the most venerable and wise people of this village.
Well, I
I
don't know
take it you've
about
been
that.
here a long time.
Well, about the same time as everyone, the Baron asked me to help found the town with him.
You've been here long enough, would you say, to notice things changing? Would you say?
I mean, it's all
Anything
changed.
unusual?
All changed at the present moment. This town has sprung up out of almost nowhere. Baron and I set it up. We recruited people and got everyone here and set up the factories and facilities to farm and cater for our needs. We are self-sufficient at least. We keep to ourselves and try not to disturb the outsiders.
So this
Yeah, no,
whole
this little place
this
has
whole
been
idea
great.
was, I'm guessing, was a joint venture between you and the Baron.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I was having, like so many others, we were having some spot of bother, and the Baron came to me and offered a solution, a way out, a new world to live in, a new way to live it. It seems to be working rather well so far. Long may it continue.
Is the farm doing well?
Yes, I believe so. I don't really take much time to look into the farm myself. I'm really I concern myself with the well-being of the people of the town, making sure that everyone's happy and content in
Yes.
their life. There's a certain amount of policing involved, shall we say, making sure that people don't overstep the mark and revert back to their old ways, much as that may be tempting for them. And a good deal of understanding is involved there.
Have you had a lot of trouble with that recently?
Not recently, there was a beginning, but that was dealt with in the ways.
And how do you deal with these things?
You've not been told. Well, if anybody is found to be reverting to their old ways, we'll stake them out into the sun and allow the sun to do its work. Guest, yeah.
Keep control?
I'd like to make an example of those that live up to the
Stray.
ideals. Yes.
You must have a really low reoffence rate.
Reoffending is never a problem.
Doesn't seem to dissuade them, though. Too much, maybe.
Oh no. We have had no one reverting, shall we say, since well, the last person that was turned into one of ours was Shane when he arrived. It was an interesting scenario.
Shane?
Good boy, Shane. One of my
The young
favourites. Got ambition, that lad.
Doesn't truly understand the meaning of his time, though. Quite yet.
Oh, he's young.
Yeah.
These things take a little time to wisdom and perspective. I don't know.
But the young ones are always rash, though.
Is he taken? My friend here seems quite interested.
Oh my god.
Taken. That's. What do you know of Shane?
Not much. I mean, we just know that he was turned a year ago, was it? He's very young.
Little less than a year. Came to town to help us set up our facilities. He was a human. He was an experiment, shall we say. See how well the types could coexist together, whether or not we could have humans and our kind in the same place at the same. It unfortunately failed for various reasons.
I see.
You,
And you
you
haven't
strike me
noticed
as a
anything unusual at all happening around these parts?
Unusual? Such as? I mean, I remember hearing something about disturbance over at the old hot springs a few days
Have
ago,
you seen
but
any
nothing
like
since.
suspicious characters around the village or like outside of the village?
No, you're the only suspicious characters that. What?
I see. Well then, I don't know what else we could ask him really, because unless we just
I,
want to straight up.
Ask me what?
I'm
What
curious.
is it I can do for you? And you were hammering on my door earlier, I believe. I thought there was something I
Well,
could do for you.
we're just here to facilitate chicken.
Facilitate chicken. See.
Yes. Yeah. So we're mostly just like curious about the farming aspect of this for the venture, like the money venture that this would like your little village would hopefully bring with the farming and chicken business. So we were hoping to see like where the chickens were kept and how they were slaughtered and stuff, but we've yet to go to the farms.
Well, the chicken, as I said, the farm really isn't even my concern. I look after the people here.
Who's the one that is in charge of the farms?
Well, Shane is
Oh, he's in charge of the whole thing.
largely he's set up the facilities. Yes, that and of course the Baron.
I see. Okay.
Reverend, tell me, you say you look after needs of people. How are the people doing these days? What with the troubles that are out on the road these days?
Nobody bothers us, and if they do, they don't bother us for long. Siders on. I said it's a peaceful town, full
It's a
of
very nice town.
people just trying to get on with their day.
So, what would be the general troubles that a man such as yourself has to deal with in such a peaceful town that can look after its own?
You understand that we are vampires, yes?
Indeed.
Yes.
Oh, gasp in surprise.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not beating around the bush here. Thank.
And that we as vampires have come to live here without taking human life. We decided that human life is sacred. And
Can I give an
that's.
insight on that?
Beg your pardon?
I would also like to do a roll on that.
What would you like to do?
Insight.
An insight roll? Yes,
Insight.
certainly. Give me an insight roll. Okay, yes. A 21. You don't believe that he really feels that human life is sacred. You think that he's pretty much saying what you want him to hear. Kiki, you, on the other hand,
I laugh out loud.
completely. No, you don't laugh out loud, not without an insight roll. Archie
No,
doesn't believe
hey,
that.
I'm laughing
that
at
shit.
him saying human life is sacred. I'm a demon.
Ah, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I do find it funny because let's not forget that Kiki has been sacrificing human life every chance we get.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so I'm just gonna laugh when he says that.
Not life.
Not life,
That's
souls.
different.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Because that one is so much better.
Yeah,
of course.
that's yeah, right. It's much better. Yeah, Kiki's actually so much worse than every vampire in this town.
Look at 21st century society, right? How many people do you see out there wandering around with souls? They don't need them.
I have yet to see one.
I mean,
I shake my head laughing.
The demon finds it funny. Yes, we try to respect human life. We've come to realize that living with humans is better than feeding from them.
Yes,
Uh,
but what of this profit though? You're
So
selling chicken to the humans, right?
we sell
yes,
chicken
as
to
my
the
friend Atia
yes.
says. As my friend Atia says, I mean, is greater economic profit really worth, the spice of life? I mean,
Not so much
come
the
on, good
greater
Reverend. I mean, you and I both know there are more important things than making a profit.
Did the Baron not
What?
tell you? Did not explain this to you? That our kind were having difficulties coexisting. Humans would hunt us whenever they found us. Are not we do not have the numbers of humans. We could not feed on them and live and sustain ourselves if we did. As a result, if the humans find out where we are and what we are, they tend to hunt us and burn us.
Understandable.
Perhaps,
You
but
said,
So
you
we
don't
found a
seem to
way
be
to
quite
exist with
happy
them.
with this. You don't seem to be quite happy with the solution. Would I be right?
I think we could probably help here because from what it seems like to me, the Baron seems to be hesitant to expand the infrastructure of the farm. And we just care about the chicken here, right? I understand the concern of not wanting to be too close to human life, as with the whole, as you mentioned, with the trial with Shane. It obviously didn't go well.
It's
It
the
only lasted a
smell.
few months. So it's likely a wise decision not to be too close to the human villages. So,
I don't know.
but I still think we should. There we can do a lot here to expand the business without having to get us near too many humans. I think.
You can just get close to the humans and open up some kind of. I mean, cults are quite big, from what I understand. You just set yourself up as someone who they send a sacrifice to every now and then for good crops, and you've got yourself good farming stock.
I mean, we ourselves encountered something quite like this a few months back, did we not? That if you, my friends, do you remember that guy was keeping Atia's well-dressed friend in a tent?
You repeat
Uh,
all that?
He's talking
do you
about
not
death.
remember the whole incident with the Reaper and the healer die?
Yes.
That's what Archie's alluding to. But cults happen every day. If that one guy and his wife could do it, I'm sure these guys could do a much better successful operation without being discovered.
Yeah, but I think the issue here is that they have morals.
I don't think they have morals. I think they're doing what they need to survive. And the Baron may
Well,
have
that
morals,
too.
but I don't think this guy does.
But no, well, Chico.
I'm just suggesting
Chico.
there may be a more utilitarian way to get what these vampires need without
Well, like I said,
pussyfooting around.
well, like I said, I think because again, Shane's young, right? So I can understand why the Baron is hesitant to listen
Shane's
to.
an idiot.
Well,
The
I
Reverend
don't
here, the
know.
Reverend, he's got experience. He understands traditions.
You
He
can't.
knows why they're important.
I disagree with calling him an idiot because if he's the sole reason that these industries have cropped up and has given the money to this town, I don't think you can call him an idiot.
See, I told you.
Oh, I'm not calling him stupid. I'm calling him a fool.
I mean, well, he's young. He doesn't understand when he is. He's still in human time. It's only been a year for him.
Indeed.
Which is why I think we could definitely maybe try and sort out a solution between all three of us where we could figure out something to do and make sure that the facility keeps on pumping out high quality chicken
Mm-hmm.
while also being careful of the human interactions because I think it is wise to we shouldn't ignore the Baron's warnings on this. He's been around here a long time. And humans, as a demon, I will say they can get quite pitchforky if you're not careful.
Yeah, only if you're stupid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
I think Shane is
you'd have
putting
to
them
be
at
very
more risk.
careful, though. It's
Shane wants to increase their operations with a fig leaf of friendship Whereas I'm sure the Reverend here is a bit more traditional. He wants to build a castle atop a bold-faced mountain with a drawbridge and
Yes,
loom over the
but
peasants in
we
fear.
we can try and get a middle ground here, though. Like I think there's a
What is
good
your middle ground?
opportunity of getting everyone in here to work together on trying to make this a great farm, and it will set them up for the future. And hopefully we
I-
could try and minimize as much human interaction as
What?
possible.
Okay. What I'm getting at here, though, is I'm basically trying to cozy up to this guy to get him to admit he's the ringleader, so we can take him out and solve the whole chicken issue and go back and do our mission. I was just trying to stay in character for it.
Yeah, no, I know.
No,
I also think that
I'm
it's
not on any of their sides here.
I know.
I just want to get
Either
our
am I.
mission
I'm
done.
actually giving, but this is what I actually think would probably be the best thing. Like we don't have to like if we could come up with a proper plan and like not obviously get because Shane's idea is to literally get them like right outside human villages, which I think is very extreme, and I think that's not a great idea.
Maximus here is the closest approximate we have to a human. What's his impression?
Well, the idea of trying to wipe out the evil vampires is, if you can filter everyone that has sympathies towards them sufficiently and wipe them out, then the town will be left with a much smaller workforce, probably.
Yeah.
But if you just try to force them back into working for the town, then it's not going to solve the problem. They're still going to want to leave. So this might be an inevitable problem of the nature of this of any vampire, that they will always try to revert back towards this this natural
There
state.
is also this is outside of character, by the way, to you, Uzalu, but because I just remembered from last session, there is a possibility, and the issue is that he's going off and just turning a lot of people, and now we're just having like these roaming fucking feral vampires going about, and like if that's the case, like I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. Because I'm sure, as the person said, they get put out in the sun to fucking burn for shit like that.
Well, I don't know exactly how powerful in combat vampires are in this setting, but if that's what they've been doing,
Very.
and they've got maybe dozens, what hope do we have? The best we can do is a bit of diplomacy and
Well, that's what I'm
organize a
saying.
final battle, or maybe trick them into going into somewhere where we can burn them with sunlight on a massive scale. But if they're feral anyway, then they're not going to be convinced.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not sure how feral they would be, but also if that has already happened and we have a bunch of people that has been turned to vampires and are like, in quite a frenzy, and we try this town would probably be the best way to try and get them to be more civilized, and it would be a good idea to try and acclimate them into the workforce as opposed to just removing them. But to do that, we would need to also find the one turning him, and then have to try and come up with a plan between the Baron and the one turning them.
You know what?
I mean, though, you make a good point, except it sounds like vampire communism.
What about our main problem? I mean, this guy seems trustworthy. Why don't we ask him about, the actual problem?
I don't think he'll know, because he's basically he lied straight to us, because he's alluded to seeing absolutely no one around the forests and no weird activity. He's not been paying attention to the farms.
No. I mean the angel problem.
Oh, well.
The angel problem? Go on.
Oh yes, the AQ.
True. We do need allies right now. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're not just here for chicken.
I mean, you know what? I've been very hyper focused on this, getting this industry up and running for the Colonel.
Yes, we noticed.
Listen, the Colonel asked us nicely, and he's going to help us if we do well.
Why are we doing stuff for the Colonel?
Oh, so you're here on behalf of the Colonel? Yes, of course.
Oh, come on, Frig, don't do that.
Of course, he's one of our best customers, of course. It never occurred to me.
I mean, we said we were on chicken business.
Yes, but It could be any number of small butchery business.
Like I said,
I see.
the chicken from this place is very good, and he really. We just want to make sure that it stays good, you know.
See, and the colonel's concerned that his supply of chicken is in danger for some reason. Is that right? The Reverend asks.
Yeah, that is why he sends it.
I see. Well, I'm sure the colonel has nothing to worry about.
I mean that. We'll see.
What makes him concerned? Tell.
I mean, we would surely like to know that too.
I see, but he doesn't just send people willy nilly. This is the
mean,
first time we've had any contact with him like this for months. He sends his wagons, and they're filled up with supplies.
I mean,
I take it
Baron,
you've met the Colonel, Reverend?
It's been a long time since I've met the colonel, and times were very different then. But yes, I'm familiar with the colonel.
Well, he's a little bit of a mercurial chap. This is exactly the kind of thing I would expect from him.
Mercurial,
Baron
interesting
did seem-
choice of words. Yes.
the Baron did seem quite concerned as well that we might be having some internal trouble.
We just want good chicken. That's all we want. We just want to
Internal
keep the chicken flowing.
trouble. How? Surely not. He's not concerned about Shane and his strange little ambitions to move vampires into closer proximity with the humans and franchise things out as if it were, I don't know, some sort of.
No, I don't think that's the concern.
Like
I'm pretty sure he wants more production.
I mean, he seems very concerned that people might be moving against. I mean, I'm sure you'd be able to help.
Moving against the Baron. I've heard of no such thing.
Can I roll an insight?
You can perfect. Of course, you can roll an insight on.
Okay, hold on. Oh fuck! I have to open my character sheet. Give me a second.
Archie does not notice that, as far as he's concerned, that this is whatever he's saying is completely truthful.
Of course. We'll see now in a second if I think the same. Where is my insight? Sorry, guys. I'm doing my best.
Usually, you know his shit stinks. There's a twitch in his eye that doesn't sit right with you.
I mean,
Di, you notice
I'm
nothing.
blind.
You notice
We
nothing.
just need to make sure that that he's worrying over nothing. Find some evidence that
I can't roll a
there's nothing
deception
going on.
roll to see if he's
Or,
lying to me.
You wouldn't be aware that he's lying to you with that. And the deception roll would be more you trying to deceive him.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, unless it was yourself, in which case it would be perfectly justified. I mean, I'm sure you could do it.
Well, Uzalu, you got a 22 insight.
Yeah.
You get the general distinct feeling that there's something very definitely not right about.
Mm.
I
I mean, I could try going the route of acting like I believe him to throw him off, but that probably won't work. He can do an insight roll as well. Is Cecilia about to try something?
I'm a quick DM.
Hmm.
Well, forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see that we're gaining much from this. Is out of character trick. I don't see we're gaining much from this. I reckon we could go from here to say, oh, okay, well, thank you. Perhaps the Baron is mistaken. We'll leave you to it and head off and continue our investigations.
Perhaps he can come with us and help us reassure him. One of his own to help restore the faith.
I would be
So if
happy
we're
to.
talking,
Reverend, after all.
if we're talking ender games for this, there is one option that we could consider, which is to just clear out their stock of new vampires. Somehow get all the surrounding villages to.
I mean, when you really think
empty.
about it, there's not really gonna be a chicken industry in a few months or a few days.
I mean, that's true, but
So I
we're
mean,
assuming that we're going to succeed, I suppose.
well, I mean, it would be nice to have more people helping us. So the reason I'm saying like maybe not go all kill route, like because if we could somehow sort out this issue and bring the two groups together and then have us help kill demons that are trying to destroy their lovely town and also this food industry and just their way of life, maybe they would be more willing to help.
Okay, are you saying this in game, or are we having a sidebar at this point in time?
You know, like we have, I don't know. We have to be careful what we say because the problem is with this whole thing is like anyone we ever speak of anything to ends up betraying us or being evil.
I mean, that is the game, isn't it? Working out
Yeah,
who
so it's
you
like
who
even
you
if we
can
try and
trust.
get help from other people, they're like, haha, we were with the evils the whole time. It's like, oh well, we just
Hmm.
made it harder for ourselves. Great.
I mean, my take on this is we chum up to this guy, get enough dirt on him to go back to the Baron. Baron deal with him, and then we go back to the Colonel, say, job done, they'll give us our army.
I mean, out of
That's just my
everyone, like
opinion.
he is the you know close to the divine, so you would hope that he would be on the divine side, right?
I mean, sure.
Where did you get that from?
Like
I
I
mean,
said,
that's why I said you would hope.
like I
That's
said,
why
you're the Reverend. He's
Um,
the best person to restore the faith.
he also could sense
Reverend
all of
of
it on
what
us.
deity exactly?
Well, I don't. Do you want to ask him?
You know it's Mars.
Yeah, but is he actually though?
Highly devoted to Mars. God of War is the one true
No.
god of the.
Yeah. What would
Everyone knows this.
a priest of the God of War be in favor of chumming up to your neighbors instead of beating them with a big stick?
Well, that's the god of war is a protecting god. He believes in strength through conflict, certainly, but he also believes in protecting what is yours from those conflicts. He believes in strength, and that the strong should protect the. Which is what we can preach. Is that those of us that are strong should protect and guide those of us that are weak.
So surely those that are strong should be in charge of those that are weak, by that logic, not doing business with them as equals.
In charge, those that are strong are not always those that are wise. There must be balance between wisdom, strength, and those that must follow. A three-caste system, if you would, of workers, warriors, and those of a wise and priestly nature.
But surely you'd agree that yourself and the Baron are the wisest amongst everyone here.
Right.
So why is it you follow this young upstart Shane again?
Follow him. I sired him.
Oh.
I thought you knew this. I'm sorry,
No.
my mistake. Let me give you some details because
Yeah,
been
we never knew. So I thought it was the maid.
The maid? Maid? Which maid?
I was under the
Oh,
impression it was the Baron himself.
What's her name? What was her name?
oh, you mean Sandy?
You mean Sandy?
Sandy.
Ah, yes. Well, without getting
They
into
seem
too
to have a
many,
weird relationship. I'm not
a
too
weird
familiar
relationship.
With
Well, you're familiar with what happens when an attractive girl meets an attractive man, and they are both young, and one thing led to another.
it is. I
Boy
take it
comes to
is.
town to help the town and build a new industry. Girl finds the boy fascinating. One thing leads to another. Boy finds out something about the girl which he finds takes him aback, and this jeopardizes everything. So then
I figured this is
we
what
had
happened.
to make a decision, and action
mean,
was taken. Decided that the best thing to do for Shane was, rather than let him run free going, oh, help, 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 vampires, was to make him one of us. And I took the bullet in, as they say. I sired him. Turned him,
Does-
and he is my, as they call him, child. In
They
some
don't
respects.
breed, they recruit.
Mhm.
Quite.
Surely, being a reverend, all the people of the
Yes, but I didn't sire all of them. In fact,
Kiki, you're cutting out
A
occasionally in the
lot,
middle of
yeah.
sentences.
very few. Maybe one or two that have by me in the past, but Shane was the last. And yes.
Reverend Jefferson,
Expedient.
do you like this town?
It is better than the alternative.
Which is having no town.
Having no town, no place to live, being hunted by vampire hunters, and people that are angry that their daughters have died or what have you.
Huh, maybe we can help each other then.
Go on.
Reverend. Oh,
I-
sorry, died. Go on.
Well, I was gonna say, I was at this point, lads. Like, the world's gonna be ending soon. So, do we really want to keep it hidden?
Well, our point, our goal is that we prevent the world ending, and part of that is to gather an army here. And
Yeah,
this
so
is
I think
not
we'll just have
said
to-
in character, by the way.
But I think if this is gonna be any time to do it, would probably be now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
so
but Di,
Or
do
he
you
could
remember
turn
what the Baron
around
told
and-
us?
No, this is the problem.
But again, being very out of character, just reminding Di, but this guy is likely to be in favor of Azazel, not oppose him.
Okay. Well, that would make sense then. So yeah, okay.
I guess I
We
could ask
don't
him.
exactly want him to know what's about to happen, basically.
I would ask him, Reverend, this way of life you have in the town, harvesting animals, seems imperfect. It seems like something vampires would not ideally choose. Do you see a path forward sometime in the future where vampires can get what they want without being chased by vampire hunters?
Ah, it is the natural order of things. Back in a long time ago, we were revered, we were nobility, we were in charge. The people of the towns would, essentially send their sons and daughters to castles to work. And if they were never seen from again, nobody thought anything. Those days seemed to have passed. Peasants revolted, rose up against the aristocracy and their betters, forced us from our castles, mansions, burned them down and hunted us with stakes and pliers.
Do you not
Then-
think, though, Reverend, that kind of pattern might be an inevitability?
It's
Just
That
with
there is no
humans.
way
Not
to
just with
maintain that
humans
dominance?
either. This is the thing, right? Everyone thinks they're going to be the top of the food chain, right?
and
It
then
may
eventually,
be,
of
Reverend,
course,
that if that were ever attempted again, the outcome would be the same and it would be inevitable.
possibly, quite possibly. I've lived many, many years, and I have seen this cycle repeat twice.
And would you consider humans weak?
One-on-one, yes. Yes. They are one human is no match for one vampire. But when there are 100 humans and they are armed with fire and weapons, then we have very little choice but to run. They have certain natural things that they can hunt us during the daylight and we are weakened.
See,
Mm.
this is what I find interesting. This outside of character, because if he's saying this, and what do you think would happen if giant humans appeared? Like, it seems like he thinks they're just going to be the top of the food chain if they're actually following the other lad,
Giant
which isn't going to
humans.
be
Where are
which
these
isn't going to be the
giant
case.
humans coming
Di, do you
I
want to
mean,
demonstrate?
yeah,
Di, do you want to
maybe
demonstrate?
the reason that they're on his side is because they don't know fucking anything.
I mean, the Nephilim, of course, right?
Okay, if you're talking about Nephilim, they are definitely not humans.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm remembering how they were conceived. Forgive
Yeah,
me.
they are. Yeah, I mean, an aside, Nephilim are conceived by angels/demons raping humans and giving birth to giant monstrous creatures that are, at least 20 foot tall and have an issue with.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They're having they wouldn't have an issue with the human one-on-one, and they're
But
like, oh, but in groups they're fine. But what would happen then if you replace humans with these other things?
but
And
then
do they really think
the,
they're going to be on the
the
top of the food chain?
Nephilim used to farm humans like cattle.
Yeah, and I imagine they'll do the same to the vampires.
No, the vampires would fucking help them more likely.
Mm,
I don't think they would.
mm.
From what I know about the Nephilim, they wouldn't be willing to share their power. What I was thinking,
Right.
actually, though, Di, is from what you're saying, it's a good point. We could certainly try the angle of, look, you two need to put down your fangs at
We
each
have
other
bigger
for a while,
problems here.
because if the thing at the mountain happens, then you, Baron, will lose your lifestyle entirely, and you, Reverend, or whoever is leading their insurrection, will have no humans to farm. Except the ones you're competing with the other demons for, which
Yeah,
is
because
going to be
they're gonna
more difficult
they
for
want
you.
to suck human blood to stay alive, right? But then if you have the Nephilim eating all the humans, where are they getting their food?
So I fear that we are coming across as inquisitors here and leaking more about our intentions and the Baron's intentions than he is giving away to us. Perhaps we should have come in with more of a plan.
Yes,
but
that's the
we
problem.
could certainly go that way. But if we do, it will be revealing a large piece of information that I assume, does not already know about the coming apocalypse. We could ask it as a hypothetical, I suppose.
I mean, it'd probably be more ideal to get fucking Shane, this dude, and the Baron in the same room and be like, guys, we need to sort this out. We have bigger things to worry about here.
So you're
The thing
gonna
is,
are you
if-
gonna propose that to the Reverend?
We
So-
could.
If the Reverend were to
He is.
reveal what
He
he
could
was,
go and tell
he
Shane
would
as well.
he would get staked. Like, the Baron is still more powerful than him. He's relying on subterfuge right now,
Mhm.
and we should bring evidence. I doubt the Baron will accept. Yeah, we did an insight roll, and it turns out he was lying.
Yeah.
I expect
You're
he'll want
you're
something
going
even more
to.
than that.
The Baron asked for proof.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, we might have to go out into the forest as well at some point and
Yeah,
just try and
I
find
think,
stuff ourselves.
We've probably extracted about all we're going to from here, and the more we talk to him, the more we reveal to him.
Yeah.
I think we've already revealed too much.
Yeah, and I still think it's not impossible to do that whole meeting with the three, but it depends on what we can get information and evidence-wise for the Baron.
We're
Mhm.
definitely at the stage right now where we need more information. I recommend that we wait for morning-ish and then ask the Baron where the nearest village is, either vampired or not, and we just go investigate.
Well, this is early morning. We could
This
probably
is still
travel.
that
This is
case,
still
fine.
morning, getting towards early midday-ish time at this.
In that case, I suggest that we have, for now, got all we can from the Reverend, and we go to one of these villages because we need more information.
Yeah, I'll straight up ask him then.
It's still, sorry to interrupt, Di, but it's still possible that the Baron is mistaken about this and it's not actually happening at all.
Yeah, because that's possible too. We'll have to I think probably the best solution is to go and check the nearest villages and ask the villagers to see, because they're more likely to be telling us if there's people going missing and vampires around.
Trig, if we wouldn't know this, don't worry about not answering me. But how far do we reckon the nearest villages are likely to be without having asked yet?
It's a
I
good
thought-
number of miles away.
Okay.
You on your travels up here along the road, you passed a village a few days before getting to the hot springs. The hot springs were 24 hours from the Hope Springs town. So yeah, so it's a good
I
3
suppose
or
because
4
that's what the
days
Baron
travel.
wanted. He
Yeah,
wants there to be.
It's a good chunk of travel by horse. You know, in terms of getting there and back, certainly.
So if there are bad vampires, they must be traveling during the day to get to these villages that they're attacking.
Yes, well, we've established that these people have found ways around the daylight issue.
Yeah, but they're probably not the kind of things that feral vampires would have. They'd have to have some sort of supply line.
Unless there's
Some
like
sort
an
of
under.
logistics
Do you think there's
supply
like an
of
like I
this
said?
stuff.
Do you think there could be like an underground tunnel somewhere?
Definitely
the
worth
nearest
looking
village?
into.
Like these people, these vampires, sorry, have been here a long time, and like their whole thing is like they've obviously put stuff on themselves now and to be able to walk around, but for 4 to 8 a week of travel in the sun and like having to be very careful about things like that, it seems like they're surely if they're turning people, unless there's like vampire had to get there somehow and either it
Well-
walked there and turned a bunch of people in the village, or it got there
Well,
like
the
somewhere else, somehow else.
if it's miles, it won't be a tunnel. A tunnel outside, a tunnel from inside the city to outside the city is definitely possible, though. But yes, some means for them to travel at night, even when they are newly created vampires, is required. But we already have explanations for that because they have fairly basic means of dealing with that. But again, that would require some sort of supply chain. So this is somewhat sophisticated, this insurrection. I think we should go and investigate the nearest town. If we have horses, we can probably get there within the day, though. So before
You would get to the nearest town in 2 to 3 days.
Do we have time for this?
I don't think
Aren't
we have time for
Are we
this.
on
This
a
is the
like a
problem.
deadline?
Yeah, we've got a few days here at most, and then we've got to head back with what reinforcements we can get to rendezvous with the colonel, and then head off to Mount Zion. Otherwise, Azazel gets resurrected, and the chicken stuff's a moot point then anyway.
Which is why it's like it might be the only thing we could do is just lay out our hand and try and get them to not fight each other and like put their skills towards this issue that's about to
You've
befall
got
them.
other people in the town you can talk.
Yeah.
There is.
We also don't need to recruit these vampires, do we? We have an entire army waiting for us.
Do we?
But only if
No,
we defeat these vampires.
Yeah, and it's
So
not
we
an
can have
army.
a small group of feral vampires, so we can have a large army, and possibly the vampires from the rest of the town.
Or we
It's
could
not
have a
an
large
army.
army and vampires, guys.
It's not a large army. It's a few friends of the colonel's that are powerful enough to assist us. That's what he told us.
Yeah.
But the good vampires, quote unquote good, in the village, in this town, said that they might help as well.
I think having these vampires are on our side would be ideal, because I think you guys are underestimating how powerful they could be.
Yes, I'm absolutely not. It's why I suggested they join us in the first place.
I guess then the only thing I would want to ask Reverend, if we're going that way, is if we're going to try and unite them potentially, I want to present into the hypothetical of so Reverend, there are other creatures that harvest humans. Have vampires ever successfully out-competed some of the more powerful demons, or would that pose a problem for vampires in the model that you described before?
The time of demons is a long time ago. Most of them were subjugated back to the various levels of hell by the angels and demon wars that followed the wars of the gods, and that is even before our time.
So it really is unknown.
Yes.
The level of status and control and power that vampires have now, whether in this town or in some other far reaches where perhaps they do have dominion over humans, is not certain to be maintained were the demons to return in large numbers.
Certainly
In fact-
demons like your friend over here.
Hmm.
Sorry, but you are a succubus, am I mistaken? They have coexisted amongst
Hey,
humans.
you don't ask a woman that.
Oh, she'll
Woman, yes.
succubus.
My
Why
mistake.
not, Atia? You need the business.
Hey,
They've coexisted for a long time
to be
with
fair,
humans.
it is true.
Atia, you haven't done a single bit of whoring since we've been playing.
Listen,
Yeah.
if somebody wants to sleep with me, we can.
Oh boy.
Oh, please, someone tell me they captured that.
Trig, you captured that.
You know what I did, didn't I? That's on the internet for time immemorial.
Guys are the worst.
That's 58 minutes and 20
You're a cunt.
something
You're
seconds
such
in.
a cunt.
I'll put that right next to the potato-coon.wav.
Great.
Ah, damn.
I think we need to have a meeting.
Okay.
With people.
I think I have an alternative suggestion, at least to begin with, which is to address to him the situation that we're facing. Because, okay, so if we had more time, I would be more careful, go a more circuitous route, as we were talking about
I think
before.
we're rushing towards the end now.
Yeah, since we don't, let's just go all out. Let's put our cards on the table with the potential possibility and fairly good possibility this guy might actually help. I'll say something along the lines of were powerful demons to return, far more so than Atia, dangerous demons who might bring a new age of fire over the world. Vampires would probably be just as unhappy about that as humans would, and vampires certainly would have to compete a lot harder for dominion over humans and work a lot harder to maintain a peaceful town like this where you trade with humans. In that circumstance, I feel like you and other vampires, and maybe even some who would be more domineering, would be very unhappy with that kind of world. Now, you may be wondering why I'm saying this, and that is because the reason we are here is more than just for chicken. We aim to stop a catastrophe, one that we don't have much time left before we can stop it, and we are hoping to secure the assistance of whoever we can find. I can tell you more about the catastrophe, but I want to know with full honesty whether you would actually be willing to help in a situation like I've described if it were true.
From what you've described, of course. Of course I'd be willing. The status quo is very important. And when you say powerful demons and so on, what are we talking about? Have a name?
There's many names, many demons. That will be the issue here.
I mean, we may as well tell him, guys.
I'm not sure about telling him. It may be that it turns out that the one specific demon we're dealing with is the one that he'd be able to ally with most easily.
If you want to make any traction with this kind of conversation, you're going to have to give him a name.
Some other reason for that.
I think if we're going to give any names, we should do this with the Baron and everyone else, and get a full on.
If I may interject,
yes, go on.
You're dealing with the Colonel. Now you know the Colonel is a old and powerful demon himself, yes? Are we talking about something older and more powerful than that?
Something that the Colonel fears.
Something that we all should fear.
This is far beyond.
Even demon kind.
This is far beyond the insurrection of a town. This is far beyond even the machinations of this new nation, this is world changing potentially.
What do you know of Azazel?
Oh my god.
The Watcher. That's a very old name indeed. Only rumors and writings and old, very old texts. That's what we're talking about. Humans? Are you suggesting that humans are trying to revive Azazel?
Humans?
Within a month,
we never said humans were doing it.
Well,
There's a lot of things in play here.
okay.
We have reason to believe their preparations are already complete and that it could be done within the month. Unless we can stop it.
That would require huge sacrifice of such magics.
Which we believe they have.
Just think of all
How
of that
aware are you
blood.
of the world around us?
Aware of the
He does
world?
know there's like a massive war going on, right?
Of course, I'm familiar with the war. Yes.
And you know
imagine
of
the amount of
refugees
bloodshed?
then? Oh, it's
Familiar.
not it's not the war bloodshed we're worrying about. It's the refugee camp.
All of it. It's not great.
The refugee camps.
Indeed,
God,
how else do you gather a large amount of blood?
I have seen in my travels notifications that there are people traveling to the various points around the country.
We believe that they may be collecting these refugees at Mount Zion to make a sacrifice of to resurrect Azazel. They already have a large sum of diamonds up there.
Diamonds, dozens of helpless humans.
not
Camps
just
huddled
humans.
together.
It's not just humans. It will be all. You do not understand the horror you bring upon if you side with that thing. Really, you're an old one, but you're not that old compared to these lot.
I must
Believe
look
me.
into this myself.
Come with us. Help us.
Will you still be here tomorrow?
Yes, I think so, right? I don't think we're going anywhere yet.
We can be.
Then I will send for you tomorrow, in the evening. I have things I must do now.
Jefferson, I will say, watch yourself. There's eyes everywhere.
Oh, I am well aware of that. I must see this for myself, and I have ways of traveling quicker than you can by horse.
I see. I just want to because I'm the demon, right? Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like of all the people saying this to him, it's like it's not just gonna be humans. It's not human suffering because I don't care about humans. I'm just gonna say it. You know, like
Of course,
it
you
means
care
to an
about
end.
humans. You're a succubus. You get your
Yeah, you know
yours.
but you know what I mean though.
That's
Like
like saying
I feed off them. Like I don't want them gone. I like that. Even I'm not saying.
It's like saying I don't care about cows. I eat cows. I eat steak all the time. I love steak. I like cows
like I
as
said,
a result.
yeah, exactly, right? Like I understand this problem, but it will not just be the humans here. All of us will be hunted.
I mean, thinking about it, right? The Reverend might not care about the humans. I mean, these guys are going vegetarian, and we all know that vegetarians don't care about the animals, but they're happy to let them all die because they're not being farmed anymore.
Yeah, but they still the reality is they still need that blood, and they'll die without it if it's gone.
Di, some work has been done. Let me expose you to it.
Oh no! If somebody wants to sleep, Jesus Christ!
Ah, wonderful.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Oh, damn. Right.
But I just want to make that clear with my character to him, and like out of all of us, like he should know that I'm not gonna be pussyfooting around like I'm a human, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is serious. This is like demons, vampires, humans. If this happens, everything's fucked. Everything. We don't want this.
He rolls his sleeve back a little and opens up a contraption that is on his wrist. It's a little circular device with a triangular shaped thing sticking up directly from it, and he holds it up to the sky, and looks at it and goes, "Crikey, is that the time? I must away." And essentially bids you a good day and pretty much fucking disappears on the spot.
Oh, Coatrack.
Hey.
Oh, welcome.
Ah, cool. How you doing?
We actually haven't moved since the session started, so you're fine.
And they haven't moved physically. They've managed to say an awful lot, and by all means,
at the end of the days, like it's we're going towards the end of the campaign. I think like we might as well stop pussyfooting around shit. Just see what happens. We need help. Hopefully they'll help us. If not, I mean, I guess the end of the world. That's.
So, Archie / Ayres, you should have your owl try and follow the Reverend if you can.
I could try to do that. Would you go? Is that what people want me to do?
He did give us a bit of information that he can travel faster than we can by horse, which would explain how he's getting to the village. If we could find how they're doing that, maybe we could go to the village.
Sure,
put it this way: if we had,
let's have Meady's tail him from the air. Let's see what happens. I say from now, he's gonna get mysteriously shot down by lightning or something.
If we had come in here and said, "Yo, there's a demon," and then given him a false story about a demon like a demon being raised from the dead, and then he had said, "Oh wow, well that is serious. Well, let me just go and consult with my people," and then had gone to consult. That's a good excuse to get him to move to somewhere we know where he's going, and we can then track him and find out more information.
Oh, I see.
It just so happens in this case that the demon story is true.
That is by and large roughly what you've done. Yes.
Yeah, but he seemed pretty trustworthy.
No, he didn't, Kiki.
Yeah, I was going to say that is not the word I was going to use.
So,
but no,
Kiki,
he made it very clear. No, he made it very clear that like what he was going there, he's like, human suffering, blood, and it's like we're quickly reminding him, that's great and all, but it's not going to be just human suffering. So maybe think a little before you actually go full on with this.
No, I reckon
he's being subtle.
I reckon he's our guy.
I mean, he turned Shane. And he just admitted that he can
what does my robo owl eyes see?
Uzalu, are you able to put like your ability doesn't make it so you can mark people without them knowing, right? And you can't like know where they are.
Let me post the thing in chat. I don't think it's going to work for this. I don't think
does
it allow me to see them or track them. I'm not sure it does.
Because surely maybe you'd be.
No, it just gives me advantage on finding them. It doesn't actually allow me to track them.
I mean, advantage on finding isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could have that on him just in case we ever need to find him. Because we can summon the other two, but this one.
So, Trig, again, if I wouldn't know, then don't worry about not telling me. But would this spell? Would anyone know I'd use this spell on them?
Let's have a look. What are you using there? Hunter's Mark.
I don't think it specifies it.
Unless Coat, you have something as well that would be good with tracking.
I don't know if it would. How long does the spell last?
8 hours if you cast it.
You can maintain your concentration on the spell for up to 24 hours. So it's a concentration-based spell. So anything that would cause a concentration issue.
That's only if he upcasts it as a 5th level
Yeah,
spell.
that's only as a higher level. It's 1 hour by default.
Okay.
It doesn't put it in the panel in chat, but it's on my
Okay.
character sheet.
Right. So you've got an hour. I will give you the advantage on the wisdom perception or survival check. Try and locate it for an hour. If you're
All right. So while he's doing that, if Medes is tracking him, what should I roll to see if I can track him?
roll me a whichever would be best for him. Probably a survival check.
Perception is his best skill.
Go with perception. I'll let you have perception.
Oh,
okay. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic.
I see
We
everything.
needed a break. We
Yes.
needed a break.
Yes, you do. You see, the Reverend has gone very rapidly back to his church, and shortly after that, he has moved out from that church and headed through around the back of the town through a back gate to the north, and headed north through the woods. He seems to have headed quite a way and moving quite fast.
How fast is quite fast?
About what you would recognise as about 60 miles an hour.
I can keep up with
Jesus.
that.
Medes can keep up with
that's
60.
Medes has 60 movement, yeah.
60 feet per 6 seconds.
Yes, that's true. What is that when scaled up to miles per hour? I have no idea.
I don't know. Actually, let's
Time for math.
It's 10 feet a second.
It is 10 feet a second. So
It's about 3 meters per second.
don't go into
Which is
meters
about-
because miles and meters and miles are better in feet than.
Oh, right. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, no point in going from imperial to metric and back again. That will.
Well, I knew the conversion from kilometers to miles, roughly. So
I mean,
roughly 3/5.
10
didn't
feet
know
a
the
second
conversion from feet to miles.
Is what, 36,000 feet an hour?
5,280.
So is 36,000 feet bigger than, what would you say, 60 miles?
By the way, if we wanted to travel really fast and we didn't care about, carrying capacity,
Yeah, you're going to be.
Yeah.
I'd give you 10 miles an hour.
you
I've
could.
just looked it up. Sadly, 10 feet per second is apparently 6.8 miles per hour,
Yeah.
which is about 2.5 times walking speed.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
y-
Cole, what were you saying?
I am a druid. I could just turn into some really fast animal and follow.
Good. You
I
said
mean,
if you.
I will relay all the information
Archie's-
that Medes has given me.
Sorry, Medes has got height and he's got vision. And vision counts for a lot. You can see for quite a long way, and
Yeah.
you sees him moving through through tracks and off towards what looks like, in the general direction of, he sees a small encampment of some sort. Looks like a rundown, broken down, old encampment in towards some foothills in the distance. That's as much as he knows, but it's off to the north.
All right. Okay. Well, that's actually useful information. We could either go there and investigate, but I think better is to inform the Baron.
and bring
but
him
then
with
again,
us to
that
investigate.
No,
depends.
go to the Baron.
Maybe, but that depends on whether we want to incite a fight between these two or recruit
do.
both.
No,
Well, I'm
incite.
not sure we do.
I think we want to resolve this as quick as possible so we can get to the big fight. We're not going. By the time we get there, anything of interest will have happened. He'll be on his way back. The fact that priest leaving at 60 miles an hour from town should be something the Baron will take interest in.
Is
I
Meady's
can
going to
describe the
continue?
shape of the camp.
Is Meady's going to
Yes.
continue flying in that direction? Okay. After
Yes.
I recommend investigate the site. Yes.
after an hour or so, Meady's will hear some gunshots from that direction. I will have
Okay,
more
so-
information for you in
Yeah,
another
we have to move,
another
yeah.
couple of hours if he's still flying over there to get squared.
Okay. So, guys, did we just like kick rocks about for an hour in this area, or did we do something while we're waiting for that?
I suppose we'll talk to the Baron.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm-
probably best to like just make sure that the people that we're supposed to be, because again the Baron and the other dude that were the Colonel are the ones that we've been employed by, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's. The thing is,
We'll just tell him
we-
everything that
us-
happened.
yeah, I suppose so. Us taking action at this point might result in losing both sides on the small chance that the bad guys have just decided to help us. Small, but still, if we tell the Baron, we'll lose that. If we don't tell the Baron and they haven't decided to help us, we lose the opportunity to defeat them. And so possibly, I think on balance, the best strategy is to assume that they won't help us, especially given the way that Reverend reacted. Tell the Baron, and then maybe the Baron will be willing to consider both possibilities as well. But if he isn't,
Or go
then
with
we
us
still
to the
probably...
site.
Indeed, we would still probably get to defeat them there. Now, I don't know if the Baron has an army sufficient to defeat them, the townspeople. I don't know if they're even able to fight, but I guess we'll find out. It might be that they annihilate each other and we get nothing from this.
So in this hour, then we're gonna head back to the Baron and try and
Yeah.
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 I think that's the best option at this point.
And if they annihilate each other, we'll go back to Colonel, tell him what happened, and he can send his men to start running the farms.
I mean, if he has men, then yeah, I assume he does.
I imagine the Colonel has men.
The Colonel, I think he mentioned this. The Colonel's rank that he's wandering around giving out is not something that he's given to himself. He does have a private army disposal, or at least did have in still does, is not known to you guys.
I mean, it's the Wild West. If
he's
you go
certain-
out and
yeah.
claim a thing, you can
You usually
we
have to
did with
back
the
it up.
boat.
Yes, there was definitely the feeling of barracks and stuff going off at his hillside fortress that he had. So yeah, to say he might have men at his disposal, that's a fair assumption. So what are you going to do? You heading back to see if you can track down the Baron?
Yeah, we're going to talk to the Baron.
Okay.
We should before we do though, as we're walking, just us able to hear, hopefully, we should decide for sure. I just want to hear from everyone that yes, we are happy to, if you interpret it this way, betray the Reverend to side against him. So all of you, are you happy with that?
I mean, I think we're making a big assumption here that there's going to be betraying, because like for all we know, he could be dead.
Okay, so what
There's
I'm
no
saying
reason
is,
to
in
assume that,
principle,
Ollie.
if we have
Yeah.
to, are we siding with the Baron? If it comes to it, one or the other,
Yes.
are we siding with the Baron
Baron.
over the Reverend and his people?
Baron.
Whoever's most powerful.
I know. I'm in favor of the Reverend.
Why
Our
do
goal
you
is
think
to-
that,
Why?
Cecilia? Cecilia, why do you think that?
He seemed a lot more honest with us than the Baron. The Baron didn't even give us his real name.
Neither did the Reverend.
We didn't get Reverend's first name. So, Cecilia, why do you? What gave you the impression that the Reverend was being more honest?
You get a feeling for it, don't you?
But none of us got that same feeling. If it comes down to it, will you be willing to side with the rest of us and go against the Reverend?
I
Oh.
don't think that's in our best interests.
Can I?
Can you?
Can we
Roll-
do Cecilia? I'm not sure your reasoning makes sense. Is it possible that he might have used some sort of enchantment on you? Can someone check that?
We do an
I
Arcana
wouldn't
roll.
do such a
Yeah.
thing.
Would
I
I'll
understand,
roll
Cecilia.
Arcana.
Please don't
Yeah,
be
you
upset,
probably
Cecilia. We're just
better at it
making
as-
sure he is powerful. We just want to protect you.
Okay, right. Meady's isn't anywhere near
So,
you.
sorry, no, that I rolled it off Archie's character sheet. I had Meaty selected. That's what I
Oh,
put.
I see.
You
Yeah,
see at the
yeah.
bottom it says
I
Archie.
see. It
It
says
is.
Archie.
It does
Yeah.
say
Right.
Archie,
Okay.
Yeah.
What I will say with an Arcana check is that you would know damn well that vampires do indeed have the ability to play certain mind games and are renowned for having, shall we say, charming personalities. Whether or not that is in play or not, I don't know if you.
Do we have a spell that can?
Would this work?
Good thing our party has a paladin or a priest.
I mean, there's identify.
Identify you?
I realise I may be objectifying Kiki's character by doing this.
How do you use Cecilia?
Well, basically, she is a semi-autonomous poison testing machine.
I mean, that's hard to deny.
Touche.
Use once, resurrection.
It turns out Cecilia wasn't actually a player character; she was a gadget that Archie built.
Can you use identify to tell whether or not someone has been charmed?
It does say object. I would imagine if you looked it up, the D&D rule set would say that creatures are not objects.
I
mean,
would-
people
I
used
would-
to
Probably
consider
not.
women objects all the time,
Yeah, I mean, and
That is a good argument, though.
they may or may not be
especially in
objectively
this
true,
time.
but I'm not going to get into that
Okay.
particular one online at the present
Fair
moment in
enough.
this day and age.
Given I got a natural 20 on my Arcana,
Yes.
would I or would I not believe that a slap to the face might break the charm?
Worth a try.
Makes sense.
You're welcome to try it.
I will
Could
try it if
charming
you tell me I
somebody-
think
if-
it might make
What
a
if
difference.
could I override a charm by charming someone?
You can.
Yeah.
The most
Can I?
recent charm is
Pretty sure
takes
players aren't
precedence.
supposed to be able to be.
Good bit of girl on girl action. All right.
Uh-oh.
I mean, Di did earlier say the following line.
Oh God! Listen, if somebody wants to sleep with me, we can.
Jesus Christ.
You got to bear that in mind.
Sorry, could you do it again? Because I might have missed the
Oh
end of
my
it.
God! Please stop.
Play.
Listen,
Yeah.
if somebody wants to sleep with me, we can.
Die, you slut.
Fuck you, Trig. Where is it?
It was me thinking you were a good Christian girl.
Okay, Di, what do you have that you think you could use as a charm? Do you have anything?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going through it because I'm pretty sure one of my runes, I can charm people within 30 feet of me.
I think it's a stun.
So I'm checking right now. Where is it? Sorry, there's a few things here. I have a few runes. Oh you fucking moved me off of my character sheet, Trig.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
I forget. It's annoying that I can't look at your character sheet at the same time you are.
I'm
Without-
sorry.
You can. You just have to be on the same page. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you're both holding the same book open when you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, this game simulates, having to deal with an actual physical book pretty well.
I guess.
I mean, to refer to the contents of an entire book whenever you do anything, yes. And
Of course.
the only reason we have to do that is because of the computer and the support.
Yes. Now, of course, usually character sheets would be multiple pages that aren't actually part of a book anyway. So, to be honest, this makes it even worse than real life.
I don't know, because in real life you'd have your GM going, "Hand me your sheet, let me take a look at that," and then you
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
be
you
able
could
to
look
see
at-
it while he can.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is you'd be able to look at different pages as opposed to the same one.
Yes.
So I assume okay. So this. I think this is the only thing I have, but I don't know. Unless I just straight up try and. Because do I have a weird succubus thing? Hold on. So there's so much stuff here to read.
I think I gave you the option to have a succubus charm kind of thing a long time ago, and you turned it down. Or
Did I? I probably did.
for I think it was resistance to fire or something.
Yeah,
there's something amusing about avoiding relationships to avoid getting burned.
Yes.
Yeah, because
It's a really deep metaphor here.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that I could use is the stone rune, which I think it says like when a creature within 30 feet of you, like their action is ended, you can imbue this, or their turn.
I'm just gonna I will be honest, right? That has a DC 14 save. The charm which a vampire has lasts for longer than a minute and has a much higher DC saving throw.
Okay, so it's unlikely to override it.
I wouldn't let that override it.
Okay.
You can try it, and if in fact, you know what? How do you use addition range?
Unless we have another spell.
If you want to invoke the rune onto Cecilia,
Would you like?
I will. Kiki, make me a DC.
Wait, hold on.
I'm
sorry. Hold on, real quick. Did we actually identify that she is charmed or enchanted right now?
No, you have identified that, or rather, as is correctly noted.
Holy shit, your wisdom.
Yeah.
Because I mean, aside from the part where normally players aren't allowed to be charmed, I don't mean this mind control sense. I mean like opinion-wise. But aside from that,
I'm not trying to do that. Though.
if we've actually identified such a thing, I can just dispel it.
That would have been great to know about 20 minutes ago.
I've been asking for spells for a while.
The only reason we're going through this song and dance is because you assume we didn't have anyone that could do that.
This is the only thing that I thought we had, but if you can just dispel it, or
yeah, I think it was about 20 minutes ago. I got called away for a moment.
Oh my fucking god! All right, well,
if you want to dispel something.
Actually, it requires it to have been a spell in the first place for me to get rid of it. So, if it's just
anyway, it might have been.
Okay, so Trig, is there anything for me to attempt to dispel?
If you want to, if you want to dispel it, cast it, and I will let you know the outcome.
Don't be like this.
Well, I have to know there's a thing to dispel for me to use it on
it.
No,
okay.
You just burn the spell slot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll reimburse you with a nice pat on the head if you.
That's not what I meant.
Archie has correctly defined. Well, okay, there is. It's actually down as an action. I'll read out to you what it says with regards to vampires. As an action, a vampire can target one humanoid within 30 feet of it, and if the target can see the vampire, it must succeed a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw against this magic, or be charmed by the vampire. Charm target regards the vampire as a trusted friend to be heeded and protected. Although this target isn't under the vampire's control, it takes the vampire's requests and/or actions in a favorable manner and is a willing target for the vampire's bite attack. Each time the vampire or vampire's companions do anything harmful to the target, it can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on itself on a success. Otherwise, the effect lasts 24 hours or until the vampire is destroyed, is on a different plane of existence to the target, or takes a bonus action to end the effect.
Right, since that isn't a spell and doesn't have a spell level, I can't dispel it.
That would be what I said.
Yes. It would also be what I said before.
All right. What we're going to need from the Baron is a small jail cell.
I mean, she did fail the wisdom save. But I don't know if that's going to do anything.
Let me also say this. I have at no point said that Cecilia is or isn't charmed.
Okay.
But we have correctly identified, through Archie's natural 20 roll that the vampires do have the ability to charm. And anybody that knows anything about vampire lore, of course they know that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Vampires
But
are
that's not
mind
what I was
controllers.
rolling for, Trig.
Trig, I
I
would
was
like to
rolling
press.
to see if I noticed the behaviour of Cecilia matching that of a charmed person.
And I told you that on that 20 you know that vampires have charm.
So possibility.
I would like to press T and wait 24 hours.
Can you?
Yeah.
Can a
But
person's
Di has just charmed.
standard reason
Ciki, hasn't
overcome
she?
their own charm?
As I said they're not under. There is no way are they under the control. Basically, someone
They're
with
just
this
more
charm
favorable.
it would be willing to let a vampire neck them a bit, and would probably want to look after that
But,
vampire.
If
You know.
they're aware that they're charmed, if they are, does that break the charm, or do they still have to act upon it even
No,
if they're
they wouldn't.
aware that's what
I
they're
imagine
doing?
they'll just deny it.
They would just deny it. Yeah.
I mean, well,
Well,
seeing
guys,
as
if we just keep arguing about this for 24 hours, it'll go away.
we were hoping you'd do the dispel thing, but that's obviously
the way
not
I
Yeah.
looked at it, we've got two ways here.
But no, dispel doesn't
Di,
work on it.
You,
It's not a spell,
You
so I can't dispel
you
it.
just charmed Kiki.
It could have been a spell.
Okay,
You
here,
could
read
do
the
something with that.
read the description of dispel. It explicitly requires it to have a spell level.
Yeah.
What was
Spell
it
slot
then?
level.
What was it if it wasn't a spell?
It was an action.
It was a magical
action
ability,
to
but not a.
cast a spell?
Magic action.
Okay.
It's not.
If it's some inherent ability, it doesn't have a spell level, thus I
Yeah.
can't get rid of it.
All right. D&D
Right.
being D&D.
The way I see it,
No,
we've got
Yes.
it's
two ways we can
it
deal
is
with
yeah.
this.
It is also it's not a spell. It's not. He's not stood there going, waving his hands and saying magic words. He's just basically looked into her eyes and
Yeah.
and done the whole,
Don't worry, Trig. As much as I'm not a fan of this, I in no way blame you. It seems that you're doing what the rule set says. I'm just not a fan of what the rule set says.
Yeah, it's also
you
it's
get
also
that a lot in D&D.
it's not just D&D. It is vampire lore as well.
Yeah.
If you've read Dracula, Wilhelmina and her friend both get this
Yeah.
thing where they know damn well that Dracula's got them under his thrall,
Wait.
and they still open the window when he turns up at night.
Uh-huh.
Wait,
No,
this
it
might
makes
be a.
sense
No,
that
'cause they're in
vampires
love,
can do
Trig.
that.
They're in love, Trig.
Hold
Yeah.
on, it
makes
might
sense
be
that
a.
vampires can do that, but I'm not sure it makes sense that if you have a holy ritual and holy magic is actually real, that you can't just dispel it. But
But
by the way,
Is that the one where the maid trips
It
over
might
the
be a. Wait,
footstool?
hold on. Does this effect wear away upon death?
holy shit, that's a brilliant
Yes.
idea.
Trig,
Does this affect
Yes,
her what?
Dead people do
if
not.
if she
do not
dies,
do
does
things.
this effect dissipate?
Yeah. Yeah, dead
Kiki,
people
quick,
are.
attack someone with cyanide.
Oh! Will that work?
You would have to you'd have to do it. She's not going to kill herself.
Well, you never know. She has done a few times already.
Look, guys.
Do we have
Di
cyanide?
has successfully stone charmed Kiki. What do you want to tell her to do with the charm?
We could, of course,
Other
just
than that-
ignore what Kiki says and be
Other
like,
than that,
okay, cool,
we
they're under
could-
the influence.
Yeah.
Problem
Unless
is,
she
though,
takes
is like
any
if
aggressive action,
maybe.
just you can restrain her if she does. Otherwise, just do what we do anyway.
Yeah,
ignore
I'm
her.
sure it's going to be a great idea to let someone
know
that
what?
could possibly stab us with poison just, walk
Yeah.
around.
And
I
then
agree, but here's an
restrain
idea,
her
right?
with your
We
firing.
could consult with the Baron on this problem because we're already on
Yeah.
our way to him.
Yeah, I think we should go to the
Mhm.
Baron, regardless.
All right, if there's no
Uh,
dissent, we shall arrive at the Baron.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You will
It's fine
arrive.
with me.
You are going back to the Baron's. Let me just dig up that particular.
I do wonder if that revivify would work, though.
Probably.
It would.
It'd be so
But-
unnecessary.
Do
It
you
would,
really
should
want to
be very
have a
funny.
player,
It would
player
be
combat? though?
really, really, really overkill.
be
It's
so
it's kind of
good.
wonderful.
I
I
do
imagine
kinda
if
love
we
that.
did that. Imagine if we did that, Kiki would actually ace all her rolls with her poison darts and kill everyone.
Right. Let's just remove Medes.
That would be an interesting end to the campaign.
I mean, I'd be fine. I mean, Archie can't be poisoned.
You arrive at the Baron's house.
Unfortunately, as the one person that can do the reviving can be.
Sucks to be
Can I
him,
roll
I
a
guess.
perception?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. I have to open my character. Oh, because it's because my character isn't working because we moved to another thing. Hold on.
Is it because Trick shut your character sheet?
No, I think it's because we moved to a new map or something. Sometimes it fucks it up. I have to refresh. But I'll just do it from my character sheet. Perception.
Okay.
Guys.
In
someone
front
else
of
should
you,
roll
in
perception.
front of you is a door.
Dude, my perception
Hey,
rolls
Di, you're good
have
at
been the
opening doors.
fucking
It
worst.
appears to be a heavy wooden door.
Di,
Di,
open the
I
door.
think you should
I-
knock
can
on the door. Make a
I
strength
go
check.
and knock on the door.
Roll strength. Are you going to roll strength?
Do I need to roll strength?
No, there is a door knocker there. You
this is
are
gonna be
able to knock
hilarious.
on the door.
Oh,
There are. How many times would you like to knock on the door?
3 times.
3 times? Bang, bang, bang. Loud, clashing, crashing noise.
Don't want to just walk into someone's house, you know?
Well, the door is actually surprisingly locked.
yeah, but when's that stop, Di?
I've gotten us in to wherever we needed to go.
If you knock hard enough, any door will open.
I mean, that is
Barbarian lockpick.
true. It's quite a heavy door, though. This one, it's you know.
I mean, it didn't stop me trying to
If you,
break
if you,
through a
if you look at
barricade
it,
before.
if you look at it, that door is probably 1.5 feet thick. I'm looking at.
I mean,
on
I
it.
tried to kick open a fucking metal door with a barricade behind it, so.
How long are we going to spend on the door?
Right,
Did anyone
okay.
come to the door?
Nobody has come to the door yet. No.
Is there
Okay,
anyone
well-
out on the street that we can see?
There's maybe a townsfolk or two wandering about.
Is the building on fire?
I,
The
I'll,
building is not on
I'll
fire.
ask the nearest townsfolk person if they know where the Baron is around this time of day.
Should the building be on fire?
The Baron is you right. Roll me a persuasion or something.
Persuasion, you
not
said.
persuasion.
Okay, one sec. Persuasion.
Okay, they'll shrug and go. I don't know. He could be at the plant. It might be sleeping. They do like to. He does like to sleep in the mornings. He's a bit of a night owl. Is the Baron?
Nice.
Gives you
It's the middle of the
Against
day.
that.
a knowing. If only
God,
there
they're
was. If
they're
only
the
there was.
worst at keeping secrets, by the way.
If
Can I
only there
just
was.
say?
If only there was some way of you getting assistance that you've been given.
Oh, I will
Some kind of
call. I
bell.
will call the.
I don't have the whistle.
The girl, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll call her.
Oh, I'm really glad someone thought of that.
My memory is atrocious. I don't know
You're
what you
playing this
want
campaign
from me.
with at
Guys.
least 2 people that have terrible memories.
No, right.
Di, how many times did you have to blow the whistle?
With the other
Enough.
dude, it was 3, right? And
Yes.
with this one, it's 1.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember it
Okay.
being one.
Yeah. So you give the whistle a blow, yeah? I mean, she
Well, the
actually
only
gave.
time Attia's
I think.
character has
I think she
blown
gave
something-
the whistle to it was either Maximus or
Yeah,
or Keith.
Maximus. Yeah, because I don't. I have the other dude's one.
But I'm not going to quibble over this for any longer because this is just
Yeah.
painful.
One of us does it.
And within a few minutes, Sandy arrives, going, you're back. The Baron's not about at the present moment, but have you had any luck?
Where's the Baron?
Possibly.
Well,
Could
we
you tell us? Do you
Where's
think
the
our friend
Baron?
has been charmed?
Oh my god.
Oh,
no,
pish.
no, none of these things. Die is correct.
Where's the Baron?
The Baron's sleeping.
The Baron might not want to be sleeping right now.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what the situation is?
I think we
In
need
fact-
to talk
in
to the
fact-
Baron.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you follow me inside and and we'll go and sit down and talk about this. You seem to be in a fluster. And she opens the door and leads you inside. And
I take a. Is this his house, right?
this is the Baron's house, yes.
Where's his
So-
Where's his claw gun?
There's a good chance he's here, right? Asleep somewhere.
Maybe.
So, and he has good hearing.
You could say that, yes.
So if I were
What?
to go in and scream for him, do you think he'll come over?
Does anyone else see this place with no floor?
I see a
We
What?
know floor.
No, it looks normal.
You've been charmed not to see flaws. He told you see no flaws in me, and it got misinterpreted.
Right, I'm gonna put this in events too, because like
Just do
I
a
may
quick
have to.
F5.
Yeah, it's very likely. Yeah, I think you should refresh.
If you
Yeah,
just
you
look at the
haven't.
pictures entirely,
You've only
Yeah.
got the line
the
of
map
sight
texture
stuff.
hasn't loaded for you. Just do an F5
Yeah,
or
that's
Control F5 if that doesn't work.
that's not what you should be saying.
That's very funny.
Good to see the lighting's working for you there.
Yeah, I know, right? So
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
That
We
is
should go in
the
and find.
fix that we're recommending.
Right, I can see it. Okay, I'm back.
okay, so if you go into the room at the far end with the sofas,
This one?
there you go. Yeah.
I am
Yeah,
going to pull out my sketch pad and draw out a favourable sketch of the good Reverend for when we see him next.
Okay.
Di, you might
Alright,
want to
so
try.
ass-
Di and Edge might want
assuming-
to drag your characters in. Di and Coatrack, rather. Drag your characters in.
Assuming we've all gone into the room,
Yeah.
shall we relay the story and I also relay what Medes has seen after meeting the Reverend?
Do we want to tell her this?
Oh, that is a perfect sketch
Yes.
too.
Let's have a look at what you've
No,
rolled.
Kiki's even making a sketch of
Yes,
the guy we're
you've
after.
driven. Yes, that is an absolutely perfect recreation of the.
And at the end of explaining everything, we can say, "Is this the guy that we're looking for?"
No,
And
no,
Kiki
no, no,
could
no.
just
Ez,
hold
that-
up the picture.
They already know what the Reverend looks like, and so do we. We're
I
not going to
know,
explain
dude,
everything
there's
to
a joke.
Sandy. We're going to say we're just going to say we need to talk to the Baron. We've made some progress on our investigation, and on top of that, Cecilia here appears to have been charmed by the Reverend, which adds to our essentially conclusive suspicion about the Reverend. We're hoping that the Baron, or perhaps you or someone else, can do something to help with the charmed effect.
Oh,
They seem to be confused.
Yeah, it's a nice picture you've just drawn of someone you met 5 minutes ago.
I will present you with the picture of our good friend Death.
Is
I mean,
is a question? Is the Reverend? How is he? You know, is he in full clothes? Is he posed in any particular way?
you know what?
Have
he
you
is
drawn
in-
him like one
he
of
is-
your French girls?
He is fully clothed, but it is a very favourable rendition. You know, kind of like an attractive face sketch type thing.
Uh-huh. Like, why don't you roll me a perception check?
Oh, why perception?
Because you're looking for something.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
This is
Actually
the
rolled well.
first
You have
roll?
found nothing so far.
Oh, well, great. Is there any hints, any wind, anything?
I don't know what to tell you.
You know what? This kind of thing.
Kind of thing. What?
God.
Oh God.
Wait. I need to see
In
this.
events 2.
Was that Trig?
Holy shit.
Was that a picture of Trig when he was a couple of years younger?
No.
Well, it is
God.
grey.
I mean,
What am I looking at?
I don't have a jumper like. Actually, I do have a jumper. I'd never done my hair like
Sorry.
that.
Well, I mean, your head did look like that during COVID when you could get it cut.
A bit. So are you going to explain everything to Sandy, or you just said because
No,
she's
just what I said.
Holy shit.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Nothing. Nothing.
What?
Okay.
Did you just see the image, Day?
No.
Then what?
Not your fucking business. Play your roles. I'm not with you.
What?
just rooting around her host's house as if she's fucking a very
Oh,
noisy,
like come
clumsy
dine with
cat
me.
burglar.
Like come dine with me, where you have
That's
to
Alright,
like
so
Where's
search for
Az
everyone's
here?
private drugs.
Kiki,
so
I
after
would.
we
Dogs are at the
explain the
entrance of the house now.
situation,
Yeah.
after we explain the situation to Sandy, what
No, we're
happens
not
next?
explaining. We're not explaining anything but what I said. We're not giving her the full details. Just saying
Fine.
we've got more
Yeah,
information.
whatever we do say, what happens next?
Yes. We're hoping for ideally some answer on what we can do about Cecilia.
Like, okay. The picture's a bit of a giveaway. I think I know what's happened. Keep her here. Walks over to the wall. There's a sconce, lighting sconce on the. Turns it to the side, and then walks up and through here. You hear a sound of sliding rock, sliding back, and then it's the sound slides back again. Di, roll me a perception check.
Oh, perception. What? I got a roll?
You actually heard this rock sliding noise, and
Okay.
you heard it coming from sort of over here-ish. You weren't in the room, so you didn't see what caused it, but
Oh. I've returned.
mhm. And Sandy is not.
I look around. So where did Sandy go?
A secret passageway.
Oh, well. I heard it over here, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, are we supposed to follow her?
No,
No.
she said to stay here.
She said wait here
Oh,
for her.
okay. Oh,
Also, out of
this is-
curiosity, is there any reason why we've put Coatrack in the fireplace?
Oh,
I
is that a
think Coatrack's
fireplace?
done that.
There's yeah.
I think Coatrack's having a 420 moment, blazing it.
Yeah.
Just
There
without
we
any
go. We'll
weed.
put him over there.
I had the image way more zoomed out when I moved there. I thought it was a couch, so I was just like, "Oh, cool! I'll just have him
I
lay
mean,
on my
honest
couch."
mistake. I mean, we've
So-
all
that's-
walked into a
I
fireplace.
love how I
thinking it
can't
was
sit
a
on the
couch.
chair. It's just
just
I think
Like-
you can hold down
It's
the
alright,
modifier to
Di.
move
You
off
could
grid.
you could sit on the fireplace.
Can I?
I hear it's lovely and
Coatrack,
warm.
Don't worry, we understand it's an honest mistake. Just add 10 fire damage to your sheet. I
Yeah.
think,
All I'm saying is,
I hear
usually
someone
people
coming.
are reluctant to go into the furnaces.
A few minutes later, the door to the living room opens, and in wanders Sandy and the Baron. The Baron lets out a long yawn of, "Oh, so excuse me, sorry, I was having a bit of a nap. Sandy here has just woken me up. Tells me that there's a bit of a situation with Cecilia here." Looks over, looks at the picture, and goes, "Oh dear.
Yes.
Oh dear. Did
It
we
is
find
as it
ourselves looking
appears.
into his eyes a little too much, did we?"
It seems
Oh,
that
you've
way,
seen the-
yes.
He seemed a lovely gentleman.
He is quite
Yes,
charming.
sadly.
Yes.
Sadly, he didn't seem a lovely gentleman to the rest of us.
Sorry. A kind can have that effect on. But don't worry, it should wear off in a day or so.
Well, you gotta, kill a traitor before an enemy.
So,
I
Yep.
don't necessarily want her in our ranks if she's in this state.
oh, she's
Makes sense.
probably fairly harmless. Keep her supplied with pens and paper, and I'm sure the good Reverend will pay you a pretty penny for the artwork. Does enjoy a nice put.
Speaking of what the Reverend enjoys, we may have taken a small liberty you probably wouldn't be very happy with in talking with him. But we have got some useful information.
Indeed.
We are mostly convinced now, to the point we thought wise to address you with it, that he is in fact involved with the group in question. And we believe we know where their hideout is.
Really? Well, that is interesting.
We're not fully aware, like we don't know what we're walking into, right? Is
We
the
just
issue
know
here.
we know where he went. He's out of town right now. He went galloping off.
I mean, do we want to tell him everything, like about the demons and all of that, or have we already?
That's kind of what we settled outside. The only person that disagreed was Cecilia, for reasons we now.
Yeah,
know.
so you might as well just go
Die,
ahead and do
die.
all that. Oh, sorry.
When you first met him, you weren't here for that episode. You guys have already told the good Count / Baron just about everything, including Azazel, etc.
Right, no, but I'm saying saying everything that happened with the other dude,
Oh,
like
you want
his
to-
reaction and like where he went and like what's going on and why we
Yeah,
think
let's
it's a good
just
idea
tell
to
him.
bring him here.
I think it's
Let's
better
just
to
tell him.
do so, but if you disagree, Di, tell me why.
No, I'm saying we should do this.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I figured that's what we decided outside, but yes.
I'll
Okay.
leave that to you.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what you want to do at this point, Baron, but unless it's an elaborate trap and we don't believe he knows we were watching him, we know where we know where he's gone. We know where the hideout is.
Right.
I still think we can try and work together though. We do have a massive issue to deal with.
That would be ideal, but failing that, the townspeople are top priority for allies. I don't mind saying this out loud.
The problem with this whole thing is the vampires are being easily misled with fake promises of a lovely world where they can, prize over humans and use them as they used to. However, that's not going to be the case here.
Sorry,
They're going to be hunted.
I'm sorry. What? And who's?
How? I thought he knew everything.
He does know everything. I'm saying whatever you're talking about.
Guys.
Yeah, nobody has said that other than you, Day.
This does seem like Dai's imagination going wild.
By saying we've told him everything, did
No,
we
you're
not
just
tell
insane.
him of the massive demons that are?
Di,
Day,
you made gaslighting up.
Yes.
yeah, Day, we've told him everything that we believe to be true. We haven't just made these things up yet.
Right. They've told him
No,
about Azazel. He has also warned you not to let anybody else know about Azazel, as
Well, our friend was charmed.
Well, that's
that is irrelevant. I'm telling
Yeah,
you what
so-
he has told you is
Okay.
to not tell anybody about Azazel,
I'm
for
intentionally
fear
not
of
telling him that we have.
Okay.
But
of the
if-
fact that some
Again,
vampires.
I misunderstood when you said we
Hello,
told him
talking
everything.
here.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Trig.
Then clean your ears out, woman. Wench. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that order.
Well, when you say he knows everything, don't say he knows everything.
I'm trying to
because
tell you what he knows because
Okay,
you clearly
sorry,
are
continue.
acting like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
he knows about Azazel. You've told him everything about Azazel. He knows that the colonel has sent you up here because he fears, having heard word that there may be an uprising on its way, that he sent you over here to sort out what the situation is. Also, the Baron has told you not to tell other vampires about Azazel because the raising of a hell beast that will farm humans for his own pleasure and use them as he will definitely change the humans from being top dog, and will certainly give vampires, maybe a couple of 100 years of playtime where they can use humans and farm them and do what they will with them. And the humans,
so-
I
the
think that's a big
vampires
assumption.
might
Hold on,
well.
though.
What he's saying is you cannot guarantee how the vampires. Some of
Yeah.
these vampires will react and whether they'll be on your side. And he fears that the ones that were likely to rise up against him, trying to coexist with the humans, are probably likely to side with Azazel.
So this is what I wanted to say to Baron. I was trying to extract information from the Reverend as to what his reaction in a world of demons might be. We weren't getting very far with it. Unfortunately, Cecilia had already been charmed, and so she just told him. I didn't want her to, but unfortunately that information did get to the Reverend, and I believe that's why he's now tipped his hand by running off to the camp. This is a problem, as you said. It could be a bad situation, but we can make the best of it, because now we know where he is.
Did he say anything about wanting to overthrow, or did you just say these things to him and he just...
He mumbled about humans, and all that, and then I informed him that it won't just be humans, and he said he had to verify this himself. And left. Towards where we've pinpointed.
Right.
Has
if
the
he
gunshot gone
decides-
off by now, by the way?
Yes.
We wouldn't
I-
hear it here. I don't
Archie,
think.
No, but
yeah,
Ez
no.
would know, I'm saying.
As Archie would have known.
Has it been an hour?
Yes, it has been an hour. Any time about an hourish, actually, and it's a couple of gunshots.
Okay, I shall report it to everyone in the room.
But
Oh,
there seem to be gunshots from that area.
So there's at least activity there, strengthening our suspicion that it's their hideout. We still
Oh.
aren't sure, but it's a
So
pretty good guess.
you have spies on the area. You're having the area watched at peak. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, something to that extent. And as I say that, I have Sparky walk in on command.
Okay.
My pets are linked to me in some regard. I have full control over them, and I have him give his paw to the Baron.
The Baron smiles and goes, "Yes, I fully understand. I've had similar experiences with my own pets." Gives a sideways glance and to his right.
When we were talking
wry
to
smile.
the Reverend, when we were talking to the Reverend, we got the impression that though he was clearly deceiving us, there was a chance he might see this as an opportunity to put down his fight with you, join with us, and defeat Azazel, possibly just because of the potential for competing with the demons. Now, I suspect you are correct that he would see it the other way around. But on the possibility that he isn't going to go against you, that's a significant advantage. But even if he does, we have tipped his hand. We now know what to target. And assuming that you have the forces available to take them on, we have granted you the appropriate battlefield. If you don't, then we'll have to figure something else out.
To the north of him. You're suggesting the old mining camp. It would seem like a hiding it. One of the places that had suspicions that. Okay. Take
we don't know
Sandy.
what we're walking into. You see,
Take
so-
Sandy with you. And can verify that there is something going on. No. The Reverend has his scheme and things that he sub to, but I trust him now. If you have told him what I believe you have told him, say you've told him, we have cause for concern.
It's pretty likely that he didn't tell any of the townspeople what we unfortunately let slip through Cecilia's charm.
He left way too quickly.
He left way too quickly. So your concerns that the townspeople may side with him in that situation have not yet come to pass. We have time. But they were going to find out eventually.
He did say he was verifying this himself, whatever that meant. Because he seemed to be a bit hesitant when I did inform him that it would not just be the human suffering in this. He's a long-lived man, wise, I would hope, to understand where this will go.
I wish there had
hope
been
so.
a more subtle way to go about this, but as you well know, we have limited time. In a few days, none of this will matter anyway. Chicken will be the least of our concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Quite possibly. Quite
There
possibly.
will be no infrastructure. There'll be no town. There'll be no order. It will be pure chaos.
I mean, if we're alive, our chicken addiction will still apply, so it
True.
actually won't be the least of our concern.
True. You'll always have those cravings.
Indeed.
Never
Indeed.
to be fulfilled.
Finger looking good.
I love how I'm the only one that didn't get.
Chicken's way too mundane of an addiction for you.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Uh-huh.
We have
Right,
some audio
so
that
are we
reveals
gonna
what
go-
Dice's character is addicted to, though.
Yes.
Are we going to go to this mining town place?
Chicken or
boys?
cock.
Alright,
So yes, he
um,
would like you to go to the mining town. Baron would like you to go to the mining town and get visual confirmation of what's going off there. Take Sandy with you. She will give you some backup. Find out what these gunshots are. If there are gunshots going off there, again, actually, Archie, you're hearing a lot of gunshots from.
Okay.
It's not just
Do I
one or
see
two shots.
anything new?
You are still. You're 10 miles. You know what? You're just about getting to the point where you can see. He's got pretty good eyesight, hasn't he?
He is now. He's got
Um,
a perception of +8.
Roll
Oh
me
my
a
God.
perception check for him.
Sure.
Should be a
what
1.
was it?
I mean, gunshots could mean the good Reverend's in
He's
trouble.
got a
Perhaps we should
passive
help him.
perception of 18.
Nah.
There you go. Did that?
You
work?
wouldn't want to
19.
miss out on an opportunity to make more drawings for him, Cecilia. I mean, I'm sure he'll really appreciate this. Perhaps you should stay here and continue drawing.
Got pictures of him with gunshot wounds.
You will see, actually, he will see the Reverend and Shane. And Shane appears to be using a pistol on a range as a demonstration. As part of that, they bring up what looks like someone tied up and I am on a post and proceed to shoot him with pistols. These pistols, and this person just bursts into flames and dies in the same way that a vampire might die. Not a human dying, this is a vampire dying from a couple of gunshot wounds.
Is this,
Okay.
Is this
Roll-
almost
changes the
like
game a bit.
in
Roll me
in,
an Arcana
Blade
check.
when they shoot them with the light guns?
Roll
Yes.
me an
If they have
Arcana
a
check.
weapon, if they have a weapon that's
Okay.
significantly powerful against vampires, I would like to know how many of them there are there, because it's possible that we could take them out without the town's vampires risking themselves. If there's only a few, but if there's any more than 5, I doubt it.
Well, Uslu, you don't know this is going on. I haven't
Yeah.
said it yet.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You recognize that with an Arcana of 13, you recognize that that's unusual. You wouldn't have expected bullets to do that to a vampire. But
I am not going to share this information with Room at this time.
Right. I was talking out of character, but yeah, my character does not know this.
right.
All right.
I mean, you're that. I mean, so.
Put it out
So
there.
we'll be the vanguard, seeing what we can do to soften them up before other potential action is done, or are we intended to be scouts only?
I mean,
On
I
that
don't
note,
think he's
I'm
gonna
going.
sacrifice his village people. I think we're going in to see.
So I'm just going to give you a quick DM as for the rest of it.
Okay. I would like to have it on record that if we are heading out to this camp, I would like to use Medes to do as best I can to make sure we don't bump into the Reverend as he's heading back.
Mm.
And maybe maybe the Baron keeps a low profile for now about what he knows.
We'll see. I'm trying to work out if I'm thinking of Blade or Underworld, where the vampire hunters fire bullets that emit UV light when they hit the vampires.
That is Blade.
I'm pretty sure it's just silver bullets, probably.
I'm pretty sure it's both.
Silver isn't. Well,
In both Blade and in Underworld, they developed UV bullets.
they use silver bullets to deal
UV
with the.
bullets.
They use silver to deal with the werewolves. The silver bullets don't work on vampires in Underworld or in Blade. So yes, in Blade they have UV bullets. I think they do similar in Underworld as well.
I swear I thought silver worked on vampires in certain mythologies as well, right?
Certain mythologies.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's why they have no reflection in mirrors, traditionally.
Yes.
I like the idea that because there's silver in the mirror, light actually does pass through the vampire to the mirror.
If you haven't seen it, Coat, I'm pasting it in events too.
Well, it just turns out that vampires have an incredibly high gravitational potential, and the light just bends around them.
Makes sense.
I mean, this is very interesting, but I also feel kind of bad making Tree type this much info at me.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm giving you information. If you want to relay this information to everybody, I will tell them rather than this.
So I want to relay some of the information.
Okay, in that case, I'll let you tell them. I'm going to drink my coffee.
Okay. With the Baron's tune room, I let them know that it seems like they may be training. I can't quite work out what, but Shane seems to be demonstrating something. And what was the other guy's name again?
The Baron, the
Reverend's
Reverend,
name?
Reverend Jefferson.
Thank you. Jefferson seems to be pleased by what he's demonstrating, and now he's heading off towards the southeast.
Okay.
Medes will be able to keep eyes on the Reverend for a little while, but he's moving too fast. For
So
him
would
to
you
stay
still?
with him.
So do you think it's a smart idea to still go in?
Does he beeline constantly in a single direction?
He's beelining in fairly constantly single direction as far as Medes can see. There is a track that he seems to be heading down, but he's moving at speeds that a horse could dream about. Maybe some cats could go that fast, but
big cats, not domestic cats.
Large savannah
yes.
and jungle sort of cats.
I will ask the Baron.
What
if
about
he
an
has
unladen African swallow?
It could probably keep it for a while. So
understood.
Yeah.
But does the Baron have any maps of the local area? Because I want to see, assuming that the Reverend continues on a straight journey along this path that he's following, I want to see what's the end of the path.
Do you want to bring up you can certainly have local maps or even larger maps.
Whichever would be most appropriate for how far out he is.
It might have been necessary. Is he going back towards the town?
He's going past. He's going. The town would be south. He's heading in at the present moment a southeasterly direction, and is going to go past the town and probably intersect with a main road.
I recommend then that you just
As he goes
tell
past the
Baron
town,
the
does he
direction.
say meep meep?
No, he's far faster than a roadrunner.
So we could
I'm
draw a
sorry.
tunnel
I
on
couldn't
we
help
could draw a
it.
tunnel on a cliff edge and
I just want to
We
say
should
on
order
the
some traps
on the
from some
subject of
Acme.
Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, Coyote did nothing wrong. He was let down countless times by substandard equipment, and quite frankly, he doesn't give up. He is highly motivated and very creative. Coyote is definitely the hero as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
I mean, that
the
Roadrunner was speeding. It's against the
Ro-
law.
Roadrunner is just a Mary Sue, really.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Just keeps
totally.
on pulling bullshit, fucking physics breaking nonsense.
Oh, but yeah. Oh, but as it turns out, gravity doesn't apply to me right now. Ah, damn.
Yep. Fuck the Roadrunner.
Then
Wile
again,
E.
Wile E.
Coyote was
Coyote is
robbed.
literally immortal.
Actually, it does seem gravity only works upon acknowledging it. So if the if Roadrunner's too stupid to notice it and Coyote notices, he'll fall. But the Roadrunner's fine.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Coatrack, you have discovered the theory of relativity.
Ish.
So yeah, what do the maps show is in that direction?
Right, what the map shows in that direction is certainly there is a town to the southeast, and there's also a main road to the southeast, and that main road, or that main route, would take it further south. And if you were to keep on going that way, there lies, well, Georgia, and whatever may be in Georgia, like Mount Zion, for example. At the speed he's traveling, he may even be able to get there and back again inside a day.
He did ask us.
Okay.
If we were...
I will share my theory on where he may be going based on what you've just said to everyone in the room. And I suppose if the Reverend is gone for about a day or so, that should cast doubt on his loyalty to the town.
Well,
Meanwhile, I suppose we need to roll out and check out this mining place.
I don't know why you say that. He did say he was going to go and check up on these.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he's evil
I will
yet.
tell you why I said that, Trig, because I don't really care whether or not the Reverend's on our side or not. I just want to wrap this up so we can get a mission complete, so we can go back to the Colonel and tell him mission complete.
Fair enough.
You have limited time after all.
You do. So you
I
want to?
don't care if this Reverend's on our side or not. Anyway, we're going to go check it out, and once we're not in the company of the Baron, I will quietly let the rest of the party know about the vampire killing guns.
If it can kill vampires, I wonder what else it can kill.
And I am taking note of whether or not Sandy would be near enough to hear us when I say this.
She does have super hearing.
Yes. Are you trying to disguise the? You don't want her to know, but.
Oh, Die! Just
Well,
keep blowing the whistle nonstop while he talks to us.
No, it's very simple. As we're traveling, if Sandy is staying within what I would consider earshot, I will communicate this by picking up a rock or something out of my bag, anything at all, say piece of cloth, and I will be using the magical tinkering to make words appear on it to explain the situation to my party.
Would you like to use like a piece of slate, perhaps?
Sure, you could take.
Don't need a piece of slate.
Kiki.
I can use any material and make any pattern appear.
I know, but a nice piece of slate, say sort of 8 to 9 inches long, with a maybe sort of 5 or 6 inches wide.
No, Trig, I am not reinventing the flat screen TV.
I was just thinking something sort of tablet sized.
No, because as I say, just take a piece of material. Could even be like the sleeve of my coat.
Make
Just
an
making sure that
Etch-a-Sketch.
she's not seeing it.
You want everyone to take notice of your wizard sleeve. I see.
I know the feeling.
Right.
Do you know the word wizard was getting censored because of the Harry Potter drama?
Good.
It wasn't because of that die, it's just me.
Oh, right.
It's getting
Okay,
Well,
censored
we
where?
So
did,
I
we
would-
did
I would-
find out, Uzalu, you're actually internet famous.
I would like
I was
you
using
to...
the name Wizard just to, keep myself low profile so they wouldn't instantly ban me for being
Little did you
animated.
know.
Little did I know.
Ez, I would like you to roll me a deception check with regards that little bit of information. As to whether or not you can
Okay,
keep that successfully from Sandy.
Does anyone want to assist me in my inevitable terrible?
Oh,
I don't
actually,
know how I would be able to.
there is a cantrip that I have that I've not used ever.
Okay.
There, you get to add a D4 to your roll.
That's actually could make difference. And if anyone wants to just talk to Sandy, guide you, maybe just want to ask her about her hair or something.
I'm gonna drag her aside and be like, so you and Shane, do you think?
She looks at you as if you've just taken her pet cat and stamped on its head.
Not the reaction I was expecting. Oh no.
I told the die was
I guess that's a
interested in
no.
Shane.
No, but wishes
Would-
otherwise.
Would that give me advantage? Is the question.
I'm going to give you advantage on that.
I'm gonna keep talking
In
to
which
her
case,
about so
that's
is he on the
22.
market?
Yep, you successfully...
Oh!
18.
Plus 4.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Oh, plus
successfully...
D4, sorry.
Yeah, plus D4. Roll the D4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
20. Okay. You successfully, for the most part, Shandy does definitely get the distinct feeling there's something going off that she's not completely aware of between you guys, but she has watched you bickering about various nonsense all day, and is just sort of rolls her eyes and goes,
That's why we got advantage.
Yeah.
We're so annoying that no one pays enough attention.
That's our secret, Cap. We're always up to something.
They're like, let's listen in. This is very important, and
Oh,
then it's like not.
Oh, it's nonsense. They're talking shit again. Fine.
We could
So,
discuss whether or
I
not to
expla-
randomly
I explain-
kill one of our party members just to make it seem like a normal conversation.
Always yes.
So I've explained to you guys about what I saw. I also explained I think we should try and get hold of some of these bullets or guns because that sounds useful.
Mm.
Well, I
Yes,
should say
what I
we're
was
still in
thinking is, if we go there as scouts and we see an opportunity to trash their equipment or steal their equipment, that'll be a great aid both to us and to the townsfolk.
Why would we possibly want to damage the Reverend's equipment?
Don't worry,
Yeah,
Kiki.
no, I agree with
the-
Kiki on this.
The Reverend's equipment is the one currently drawing pictures of him. You should remain here and continue drawing. What we're gonna do ideally is set the whole place on fire. Any
No.
objections?
Okay.
Oh, I
object.
can do that.
I mean,
Look, they're
I
gearing up for war
I want
with
these
the
weapons.
townsfolk.
I want to
And
use
they-
them.
But
They-
it's better if no one has them than just
Also,
they have them.
Uzalu, what was our mission from the Baron just now? Get evidence, not destroy all evidence.
Well, we take some of the
We're
evidence and we
taking
burn
Sandy.
everything else down.
Sandy is going to be his trusted witness.
And
We're
we
not
Yeah,
could-
and if you
going there to
destroy it all,
she's-
she'll say
she's
she saw
kind-
nothing.
Well, actually, apparently they're not that close.
well, that's what I'm trying
Doesn't
to
matter.
like.
That's why he sent her with us.
We should check before we do any harm.
No, Kiki. Before coming here, Trig, we do need to decide what we're doing with Kiki. And there is that expression of always kill a traitor before an enemy.
Yeah, makes sense to
and,
me.
that's highly accurate, and I have no reason to believe that Cecilia actively wants to betray us. But any moment that someone, granted the Reverend isn't here, but if he gave her an order we're not aware of to betray us, she could do it any moment.
I don't think that's possible with the spell. I think
She
it's
is not under his
under
control.
Yeah.
No, not a magical order. But if she said, if they ever try something against us, you should betray them, poison them all. Anyway, so yeah.
That's not how
And then
charm
just
works.
continue like that.
usually.
You know, but the
It-
problem
it's
is
it's
Kiki's
how
character would
persuasion
do it.
works.
Kiki's
that's-
he's evil. Remember this.
Let me reiterate. I'm not saying he used a
Alright.
magic command. I'm saying he charmed
has
her with magic
Cecilia
and then
ever
suggested
acted-
non-magically
Has Cecilia
that she
ever
betray us.
acted against the party?
If
Yes.
Cecilia,
No.
Yes.
if
Yeah.
That
Cecilia
yes,
was
yeah, that's not
charmed,
what. But yes,
if Cecilia was charmed, then he would have to convince her that his benefits in stopping Azazel would be greater than the party's for her to betray the
True.
group.
But also, that wouldn't be hard for you. Because it's like, oh well, what if we just give you a special spot with this Azazel creature, and you'd be like,
you did
"Sure,
sell
why
your
not?"
soul.
That's
I didn't sell my
She
soul.
is
I
magically
sold
enamored with him. If he
for
said,
several others.
it's in your interest, I'll spend a raunchy night with you. You'll be my girl if you just betray these losers. And I mean, we are losers, so that's true. And all I'm saying is, and it's not much, right? But all I'm saying is there is a significant possibility that Cecilia's character could betray us.
Why don't we have Cecilia and Sandy kind of keep watch out back here, and while we go in, and make sure everyone they'll keep an eye on stuff. We'll go in and check it out.
Sandy's going to turn around to you and tell you she knows what her orders are. Walk back to the Baron and stick with you at all times. She's not letting you go in by herself. There's no point in her being back
Sandy,
here.
can you keep an eye on Cecilia? Can you
Of course.
She's
of course,
charmed.
Of course, yes, I know. I'm aware of what the situation is. Don't
Okay.
worry, I'll keep her safe, and I'll keep you safe as well. Are you seeing the new map? Does that come up?
Yes.
And Trig, I know this is probably difficult, but I don't think we should move in this close this quickly.
That's nice, but I don't have anywhere else other than this.
I know, yeah.
And trust me, if you have to get right to the top end of the map. I haven't got any. I mean, it's basically woods all the way up until this point.
Yeah,
so
we
you've
can just say
broken,
like we're in here in the woods or something.
You've broken out of the woods, and then it's just a path down and into the sort of. It's all pretty much broken down. It is still about, it's gone midday. It's about 2 in the afternoon at this particular point in time. You've got plenty of
If
sun.
I may, Trig.
Sure.
No.
I assume Medes has had a chance to come back and join us, but by now.
Medes he will be overhead or getting
Right,
towards that point.
Let's say before we came out the tree line, I had Medes do a flyover, and are there any signs of any bad guys in the bottom half of this map?
No, he's not seen anything in the bottom half of this.
Does he see anything in the top half?
The top half by the mine entrance is where he saw the demonstration with the guns.
Okay. So can we shorthand we hide in the trees and sneak up by saying we're already we've got a load of stuff blocking line of sight, we can sneak through the town?
I would say it's quite
that
likely.
was not to you, Trig, that was to the party.
I've
Is
never
everyone
seen.
okay with that?
I have never seen stealth work for a party.
I was going to say
All I'm saying, can we just move ahead and say yes, we are here?
It's fine with me.
I mean, we're on the map. Like the map can't get any bigger, so.
Nope, it's a largish map. I want you to all roll me stealth.
By any chance, do you actually use the group check rules where only half people have to succeed?
Yeah, go on then.
This is. I hope we understand. This is a suicide mission. If there's any more than about 5, if there's any more than about 5 vampires there, I would guess, rough estimate, we're fucked. especially because we've potentially got a traitor in our ranks. No offense. And if they, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if my
think
character
Sandy
knows
is-
this. That doesn't matter. She didn't suspect the Reverend, right? So I'm not sure if Ez's character has told us this yet. But assuming that they have anti-vampire weapons, Sandy isn't going to be much help either.
That's not
You
true.
haven't told Sandy that they've got anti-vampire weapons, though. He doesn't know. You have.
No, she doesn't.
She's going to go in there confidently taking a bullet and then just vaporize. You should probably tell her.
I would consider that evidence, considering if she didn't
Holy
the
shit.
Baron say that
We don't have time to still be trying to determine who we can trust by letting them die.
seems like a
Does
really
have-
good way of testing.
Yeah, yeah, and then we go back to the town and tell the Baron, "Yo, turns out we can trust Sandy. We let her die." And then we want him to form an army and help us. We've chosen our side, Ez. And it's
Hold on.
Cecilia hasn't. But we have.
The Baron might be able to forgive that because we've already gotten an indication he doesn't care that much about Sandy.
If he finds out we knew, then I mean he still uses
all right,
her.
he already stop. He already implied that his quote unquote pets, he has a similar ability to what Archie has, i.e. he can see through their eyes and can control them.
I don't know if he could see through their eyes.
He can control them. I will give you that. He can't see through their eyes as such.
Therefore, at the very least, we can say if he can control them, they're not going to be
Well,
a
the
traitor
thing
to
is,
him. They're incapable.
But will he know who killed her? Because he could just say they could turn around and try and say we killed her.
Well, never mind that. Ez,
If that
why
happens,
are we
we
going?
can show him the weapon.
No, that's
He wants the
why are we
weapons.
going with the standard of we'll know we can trust you when you're dead. That's not a sensible standard.
No, it's not.
Wait a second. Yes, it is a sensible standard for people who can bring others back to life.
Can you
don't know
bring a
if that works in
vampire
the
back
other
to
way.
life?
If we're assuming that you can, it's not as ridiculous, but it's still pretty ridiculous. She's still going to suffer. Also,
Alright,
the
I'll
weapons
make it very
vaporize
simple.
the
I'll
subjects,
make
don't
it
they?
very
They-
simple.
Yeah, they
What
do
I'm-
vaporize.
what-
them.
what
Vampires
happening
tend
here-
to sort of burst into flames and turn to dust
I don't
if
think
they're-
Revivify will work.
if they're gotten in the right way. Yes.
Oh yeah, it doesn't restore missing body parts, so if it's missing all its body parts, then that won't help.
Yeah.
Now,
depending on how
being
you
turned
kill
to
them,
ash, is that...
The soul.
No, hold on. If it's turned to ash, all the body parts are there. They're just in ashen form.
Yeah, there's certainly missing some parts because of smoke and so on. What I will say is the vampires die in different ways, and unless they're killed in very specific ways, if they're just hacked up with mundane weapons, yeah, they have a nasty habit of being able to turn into gas and buggering off and reforming and so on. But yeah, when they
Bursting
are
into flames,
killed.
though.
When they are killed and dusted, and that dust is then subject to wind erosion, shall we say, it becomes very difficult to reformulate them.
Except for Dracula, but he's different.
Dracula is very different.
Yeah, he's the only one that is able to be, from what I've seen, turn to dust and come back.
Dracula is almost unkillable. Yes.
Well, yeah, because isn't that his punishment, basically?
Essentially.
Yeah.
That's
Alright,
that's
shall
in
we go
our
forward?
kind of law. But
Yeah,
yes,
you're right. You're right.
I need a stealth check from Uzalu because he's the deciding vote as to, if you will, on the stealth as to. Okay.
The heavy armor people. Who would have thought?
That's a bit of a shame.
But I mean, 3 people. Oh
Wait,
no,
did
Archie
Sandy roll?
didn't.
You know what she did, but you know what? I'll make.
Oh
a roll.
yeah. Yeah,
Does
let's see
Sparky
this.
need to roll as well?
No,
Let me
but Sandy will be the deciding vote here.
Let me bring Sandy's. No, she doesn't actually. See, doesn't really have.
She's physically part of the group, though. I mean, you could just make up a number for her stat if you want.
I mean, it's
Just
dexterity
do a
based.
dex roll.
It's a dex
Yeah.
roll, isn't it? Which is
And
pretty powerful.
if you think she's proficient, you could. Oh, look at that! Cool.
She's yeah. You know, vampire.
Thank God.
Uh
Thank God,
So we
man.
had three good rolls, 1 middling roll, and 2
God,
bad
what was
rolls.
that? Is that clanking in the wind?
yeah. You make it certainly all the way up to the mine entrance with various sort of pauses and stops and Sandy sort of briefly sort of keeping people quiet and pointing at the metal armor and going shh.
I don't know.
And pointing out to you occasionally in whispered format that vampires have really strong hearing and that is noisy as shit. But somehow,
Why are we going in?
why are you going in?
That is a great question.
Usually can stay behind.
Why-
We'll go in
Well, I
without
mean,
him.
my question applies mostly to Di and I, but it also applies
Yeah.
to the rest of us. Like we know they're here. I
We
don't know
can't
if
stealth.
Sandy is convinced, but we know they're here already, and we should be watching from afar. If there's any more than one or two of them, they'll overpower us.
It's fine. We've just got to go in there and prove the Reverend's innocence.
By dying.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Di,
now wait a
should we babysit Cecilia outside the camp?
Trig, what kind of mine is this?
We could. I mean, we have heavy
Is it
armor.
a
There's
bloody
no.
silver mine?
It is-
Is it a
coal
is it
mine?
It is a
Is it a coal mine?
It is a coal mine, yes.
a
Oh no!
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Holy shit! Wait a second, guys.
But you do
Hold
need
on.
line of sight to do it.
It is an old, disused coal mine. It's been disused because
You can get that prepared coat, but wait, just wait before you blow everything up.
Actually, line of sight's not required.
Oh, really?
I think.
Okay, I take it
Let me
back.
double check that.
Oh yes, it's an
I-
old
oh.
TNT mine.
If we play this
it's
the
an
right
old
way,
gasoline mine.
if we play this the right way, it's going to be like that real life coal mine in America that's been on fire for 120 years.
Forever. Yeah.
Just saying.
It's gonna be that would be quite devastating, I think, to do this.
Well, after a couple of years, the vampires will have to find a new town.
I can just move over.
I
slightly.
mean, it's gonna. Was it Silent
they
Hill?
have time. They have time.
It's gonna get a bit Silent Hill, to be honest.
They'd be like, haha, we're gonna be the rulers, and they're like, oh no, wait a second. This
But
isn't what we thought.
Uzalu, the reason we're going in is because Archie wants to get hold of those weapons and mass produce them. Because they
Right,
look
but I'm
like
just saying,
they're fun.
if we're trying to be stealthy, maybe having the two with heavy armor not go into the stealth place would be ideal.
Well, I may have a solution for that.
Okay.
Because this works. I know we've only been using it to make people bigger. It can also make people smaller. And smaller things make less noise.
True.
Now, in your case, Di, it might not make a single bit of difference because I don't think we can make you any smaller. Your feet don't
Haha.
even touch the floor in most cases.
And yeah, I knew this was coming.
You're going to be crushed by your cat ear headset.
Oh no. This is too heavy for my neck. I mean, but being smaller is gonna. I mean, it's kind of nerfing me though, isn't it?
I believe
You can dispel at any point, right?
counteract it. Yeah, I think so. It's a
And I
concentration.
can.
So yeah.
I can also use a thing where I can just go back to normal size too, if I
Yep.
need to.
Okay, so
Just
Right,
saying
so
it-
we're yet another nerf on the party.
just
Yeah,
out
I
of
think.
interest,
Were you covered too?
who is going in and who's staying outside? Is anyone staying outside? Except
I mean, I'll
me
go.
and Uzalu were
Our
going to stay
sniper-
outside.
Hey,
I suggest
Celia,
our
I think I
sniper
saw the
sets up
Reverend
a
behind that
sight
rock
line.
over there. I don't know if either of us were heard.
So is-
Cecilia, I think I saw the Reverend over behind that rock over there.
Roll deception.
So is
Roll-
it just
roll
me
me
and Ez
deception.
going in?
roll me a deception on that
Oh,
one,
God.
Uzalu.
I'm only half joking. Shall I actually do it?
Yeah,
I
go-
kind
do
of
it.
want to see you get a natural 20 on this.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not a
she-
natural 20.
she's not buying your bullshit.
Hang
Uzalu.
on. I've got something for this.
No.
Where is it?
Way.
Where is it?
Are
Where
you
is it?
gonna
No, wait,
waste
no, wait,
what
wait.
what I think you're gonna waste? Please no.
+5.
Yeah, I knew it.
Okay.
And I'll cast guidance on you.
No, guys, we don't need
Add a
this.
It's
D4.
worth
Add a D4.
it. This is worth it because it's too
Add
funny.
a D. Add
Okay,
a D4.
Are you
Uzalu.
using that? And if in which case, knock one of your uses for
Maybe.
the day off.
Yeah, already have.
Okay.
Guidance is a cantrip. I can use it as much as I want.
Yes, you can. Okay, yeah.
Cecilia is going to go off in search of the Reverend.
How
I mean,
far
this
away
is actually nerfing our combat capability. Too
Are you
funny.
taking Fluffy with you?
How many
yeah.
times always kill a traitor before an enemy? They are more dangerous
She's
than
not
an
a
enemy.
traitor. All right. Isli, you clearly
There's
don't
a pretty good
understand
chance of her
how
being a
charm
traitor.
works.
Where's he pointing
You
out?
don't
Over here.
understand how charm works.
Yeah. Isley, would you point out where apparently this is?
I was pointing the other side of the hill, actually, more sort of over here.
Okay.
This kind of area.
Have Fluffy roll me a perception check. Fluffy does not smell anything, but might be wrong. He's not sure.
There's a vampire.
Yeah.
Nothing about this operation is a good idea. The only thing that's filling me with confidence is that we can burn the whole place down.
Okay. So who is going in there in that case in the end? When we
I guess I am.
Yep. Okay. So that's one.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone
Sparky
can
and
volunteer
then
to stay behind,
myself.
because then we just won't do it.
Yeah.
How about if we follow a minute later, so that if we get seen, at least we'll be a distraction, so that you
Isli,
guys can take
why
other
don't you
actions.
why don't you set up position one of the abandoned houses was a good sight line and be a good sniper?
Because we're at the
You can
bottom
stay
of the
far
camp.
back. You can stay far back and still be useful in the combat.
We're at the bottom of the camp. It might not be useless, but the best I'll be able to do is hit them as they're chasing you down.
But you've rolled your
Alright.
stealth. You're already, as far as I'm concerned, you are able to
Halfway
make
up.
your way up to the mine entrance, which is all the way up there.
Where?
Well, under the assumption that there's
Top end.
no one
North.
else in the town to spot us.
Oh, we're up here.
Yeah, you've rolled your
Yeah.
stealth. You've made your way up there without incident. Yes.
We're discussing who's going in the mine.
Yes.
Okay, maybe we should move up. Or
Well, yeah, let's
Maybe
move
you
our
should
things, though. I
definitely
had
move
no
your
idea.
tokens all
Yeah,
the way
I
up
don't
there.
know where we're.
Clearly, Cecilia didn't know either, because she's now
I didn't
off
even realize we were on
exploring
the map
rocks.
yet. I forgot we were even on the map because I'm zoomed in and didn't see that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so I guess the town was empty, or they saw us anyway.
Nah.
Sandy's just still down there, by the way. In that
Can I-
case, Ez,
can I
your
look
suggestion makes a
around
lot
and
more
roll?
sense.
Can I look around and roll perception
You can roll perception if you like. Oh, yes, absolutely.
before? Look, just before heading into our death, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll
blind,
Meaty's
so
perception.
who would have thought?
It seems like an empty mining town. It's
Dude,
pretty
this flight
derelict.
perceptions.
Maximus, you notice that there doesn't seem to be actually much in the way of heavy tooling. It seems that whatever was there that was being used for the heavy mine work that was of any value has gone as well, been taken. There are a couple of wheelbarrows, but mostly it is just broken down buildings. There seems to be a fairly significant colony of spiders living in all of these buildings. Just normal house spiders, of course, and bats and various other things.
Bats.
Yeah, bats.
Good. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Wonderful.
I don't see
Fred,
any problems.
I would like Meady's to start scouting in the mine.
Meady's
With
is
the
going to
12 in
fly
stealth.
into the mine. Okay.
Literally the canary in the coal mine.
Meady's gonna fly to the entrance of the mine, land, and then go in on foot.
Okay. So how many of you are actually going into this mine? Because I'm going to bring up a new map,
Well,
and I don't want to be sort of
Yep, I'm going.
fucking backwards and forwards.
I'm suggesting
Let's just-
Meady scout ahead first, just make sure we're not going to be ambushed straight away.
Okay, Meaty flies in there, and he is not able to see anything in there for the first few meters at least. It is rather dark, however.
He does have dark vision.
Dark
I
vision.
don't know how
Yeah,
far.
it's
60, yeah.
yeah, but there are passageways leading off in various directions. He can see what he can see, but like I said, it is.
As a side note, I'm casting dark vision.
Yep.
Oh, I
Okay,
have that
I
vision as
shall
well.
relay the information to the party in the hopes it will encourage them that we should go forward, because we are about to have a great fight. There won't be anything like the Dirty Diamond Dozen again.
How many? Who's going into this mine? Give me an answer. I'm setting
I
this
am.
up. I'm trying to. Yeah, I've got you down. I've got Sandy down.
Sh-
I've got Archie
Shall I
down there.
fetch Cecilia?
I'll spend a reasonable amount of time looking for the Reverend before I assume that I've missed him.
Di, should we go into this doomed hellscape suicide tunnel?
I wanted to stay and watch the door, but so we have an escape route. But because it is a cave. But
If you want to stay out there by yourself, you can do that if you want to.
Let's guard the entrance
I
then,
could
Di.
leave the owl at the entrance.
Prevent the
if you want.
flanking.
So who? So
well, you could leave the owl. He could leave the owl by the entrance, so we can see if someone's coming.
Uh-huh.
Can I go up into this watchtower?
Can go up
Is-
into that
is-
watchtower.
All right,
Probably
who's going
not
to
a
be left
great-
behind to keep watch? It seems.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great escapable location there, I suppose.
Not really.
All right, I want to get on this
Look,
roof. then.
when I observed
Roll
the
me
demonstration,
an acrobatics to get up onto that roof.
Ah, broke my leg.
Yeah, actually, I would
I-
like you to
I-
roll against your armor, please. Roll. So just
All right. So now that we've
Susie, would you
handicapped
like me to
ourselves
give you
even
+5?
further,
Tuesday, would you like me to roll a +5 for you?
doesn't matter. He's fallen through the roof even on a +5.
Well, a +9.
A +9. He would maintain his balance on the roof.
That's up to you, Celine.
God.
Trig, what am I rolling with the armor thing?
All right, never mind then.
In fact, hold on a second. I will roll something. Here.
I mean, they could bring you up to what 18, and you'd be fine.
17.
17.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Fucking.
What's your AC?
AC is 17.
17. You're fine. You managed to
Okay.
to land on your ass. You've got a bruise on your bum, but no real
First
damage. Yeah.
Now, I guess
Alright,
that,
so I
now he
guess
knows what
the-
it feels like to be out here.
I guess the roofs are not sufficiently structurally sound. I will find somewhere to stand, like around a corner here or something on the ground level.
Mhm. Okay. Yep.
Easily. Why don't
You're-
you just go into the upper grounds level, so the upper floor of this building?
You're saying go to an elevated position inside a building?
Yeah, just look out
It's
the
kind
window.
of what I just did, is.
You climbed
Yeah,
on the
not
roof.
on the roof. You went to a part of the building that's not supposed to support human weight.
And fell straight
done
through
this
to the ground
before.
floor.
Now,
Well, straight through to
Oh
the
my
floor that was
God.
below.
Oh, well, then I'll just stay under the floor that was below. That's fine.
Fine. Okay. You.
Ah!
I would like
As long as
Lovely.
there's a window.
What
Okay.
is going on?
I don't know.
I
Okay.
would like to preempt, if I may, me
No.
being off on my own, right, and just getting ambushed by making a perception roll to account
not
for the fact
alone.
that I'm actively looking for someone.
Okay. Sure. So
Thank God for that.
fine. You have a very heightened awareness. You're wandering around by yourself. Maximus is sat there. He's a sniper, demon hunter type character. He's pretty got a pretty good view of the entrance to the mine. Anybody else staying behind?
I feel like it's a bad idea to let them go in alone, right?
I'm gonna send Medes to fetch Cecilia and Fluffy, so at least we have them with us.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to ask this one more time, and then I'm going to fucking party wipe you with an act of God. How many people and who is going in this goddamn tunnel?
Honestly,
Hey,
the
who's
party
been-
wipe sounds
Everyone
preferable.
except for Uzalu.
Everyone except for Uzalu. Great, good luck,
I
Uzalu.
thought Ati was staying outside. It
I-
doesn't
I-
matter. Yes, go. Do whatever.
Dude, they really
Ah!
don't want us to stay out here, so.
I don't care. I just want to know who's in the tunnel so I can stop putting people on and then off again on the fucking map I'm setting up.
Well, I've been consistent on my position.
I know you have. You might be the only one that lives through this at this rate.
I've been consistent. I want to get hold of the new
I
weapons.
thought we were being consistent.
Oh, God.
I
Right.
was being
Well,
consistent.
Ah,
Trig's
Trig,
gonna lose
don't
his
worry.
mind.
where's
Don't
my
worry,
gun?
Trig. I have a solution for you. Okay.
Okay.
You have an entire week to decide
Right.
Oh God.
because it's
Well,
now.
if you
True.
wait, hang on. If Uzalu is
True, he
staying
did say
outside,
12.
You did say 12.
if Uzalu is staying outside, we could just do this bit without him.
Well,
Right.
the whole thing is that like we're setting up for if something shit happens, we hopefully you guys would run out.
You are
Ah!
waiting outside. That is decided. Meanwhile, in the mine,
Oh dear.
Which naturally, I'll have a black screen for the next few minutes. I guess I'll watch the YouTube video. Maybe I shouldn't actually. You know, what,
I
I
thought
need to
you
go
had a
anyway. If
stream
you guys
now.
want to keep playing without me, I don't mind. But I do need to go and get ready for stream.
you go and get ready for it. You guys can see what you can see. There is a nice mine for you to discuss to explore. There are many crates. There are some tracks. There are all sorts. But it looks like it's going to be next week when you actually explore this mine.
Mhm.
It looks like this mine might be a bit of a struggle.
Indeed.
Not as much of a struggle as getting in was.
Why hearing you lose your mind is hilarious.
Swear.
Quick, Kiki, bring him some coffee or whiskey.
I will say I am quite tired.
I mean, I've only been up for a few hours, but I'm pretty tired too, but for different reasons.
Uh-huh.
So Trig, I'd like to go into the mine now.
Right. No, you're outside. You've gone. You're going. Go get ready for your stream. Fuck off.
Yes.
Right. And
Oh, I
we'll,
thought that was,
we will.
thought
We
it was
will.
just the left the pit.
We'll leave it at there because I don't want to leave Uzalu outside whilst he's not there to get ambushed by a horde of vampires. Well,
Yay.
sitting as
I warned
bats in
us.
the roof or something.
Hey, look, I mean, if it happens, at least I'll be right.
Yeah, he was saying it from the get-go. It's like, why are we going in, lads? Why are we
I
here?
mean, sometimes in RPs I'm overly cautious, but this is one of those times where I've been underly cautious.
I wonder
Yeah.
which one it was this time.
Well, anyway, either way,
We'll
we will
find
see
out
what happens
next
next
episode.
week. I'm going to
A
end
silly
the stream here. Thank you for whoever was watching.
And remember, everyone, that Die will do anything.
Yes. Do you want to get another quick play of that
Oh,
in
great.
before we?
Oh no.
Where was it? Where was it? I've.
Are you
I'm
talking
not
about that?
sure what you mean, Trig. A play of what?
Listen, if if somebody wants to sleep with me, we can. I love how I'm like we can.
Yeah. Slut.
Oh.
That's
what Archie is. What do you want from me? She's a fucking succubus. Of course she's a
sound like
slut.
a politician.
Look,
the way
Trig,
you
all I'm,
say it.
all I'm saying is the clip does not have that context in it.
Of course it doesn't, because that was removed for this reason.
Yes, it was.
Wait, is there actually a clip that's already been taken out?
Didn't you? Okay,
Did you
yeah.
not just hear it?
What, you
No.
thought that was Die just saying it every time through my mic?
Oh. No, well, how would I know it was through your mic? I'm not looking at
'Cause
Discord.
you've got, well, I don't know, maybe you
Yeah,
had
he
Discord
said
on
it.
speed or
He
something.
he said it 3 times. Do you not think why is she just randomly saying to sleep with
Wow,
her?
she's
I thought
really
she-
good at repeating herself. Must be
Okay, I
weird.
only heard it got repeated once,
It
but
was 3. He said it 3 times.
well, I have a tendency of tuning out your voice. I don't know.
This is probably best for
It is very
Actually, I
that
hard
to
to
be
see.
true.
Oh dear God. Right.
That was a funny session.
Yes.
I'm
it was.
liking us trying to sort things out and
Ah,
not
I see.
immediately going to violence.
There you go. Enjoy.
This has been
Uh,
a catastrophic
Despite the
mess.
prevarication, this
It
has
has-
probably been
I've
the most
enjoyed this.
things
Though.
we got done in an
This has been
episode.
this has
Yeah.
been fun.
You do say that, Die, like you're not the person who normally jumps to violence.
I'm gonna
That's
end
what
the
I'm saying.
stream.
It's just
Good night.
nice to see it, man.
I mean, if what